Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the fourth and final day of the InnCuVation Forum. It's the last day of the program, and we've been witnessing three very exciting days, focus on applied research, strategic outlooks of different industries, and some elevator pitches of startup. This is probably, in my opinion, the most inspiring day. So we have today 10 exciting startups, the output of our startup development program that we'll present in front of a very exclusive audience. We have special guests today, the Emirates Angel Investors Association, and with their members, and our startup will have the chance to present in front of them. We are going to also to benefit from the keynote speeches of two very high-profile speakers, Omar Al-Mahmoud, the CEO of the HCT Fund, and Masaoud Al-Masaoud, the chairman of the Emirates Angel Investors Association. Before going to that, I would like to share where we stand in running our entrepreneurship development program. The entire journey started a long time ago, I mean a few years ago, when we defined HCT 4.0. As you can see here, the graduation of companies is one of the pillars, one of the strategic thrusts of HCT. We want to graduate the technical leaders. We want to offer an education opportunity to every single Emirati. But again, part of our DNA is very much the launch of startups. And this is very much aligned with the 50-year charter of Mohammed bin Rashid, especially with Article 6 that is focused on the creation of free economic zones and creative zones in universities. Let me share with you the journey we made. So last year we launched a massive program to graduate companies. In few months we launched 67 startups. Half of them are led by female students. 21 are already operational and a commercial point of view, so they have a trade license. We had, again, in just a few months, more than 1,200 students involved in the program, 300 students as team members, and more than 800 involved in other entrepreneurial activities. All these startups are showcased in a virtual showcase that is accessible during the forum. And of course, some of them, the outcome of the accelerator will pitch today in front of the members of the Emirates Angel Investors Association. So the program started not a long time ago. So in March 2019, we launched 3 incubation spaces. We developed in 2019, the entrepreneurship strategy. We started piloting the program with 2 bootcamps. And we had a full launch of the program, as I said, in July last year. We had 3 bootcamps, a few workshops, we had a few entrepreneurship talks, and we launched in October, November, the first cycle of the accelerator. The entire program is very massive, as I mentioned. We plan to engage over a period of 12 months more than 1,400 students, and to launch again more than 100 startups. We have 14 entrepreneurship talks per year, 4 Inspire 98 workshops per year, and 10 startup bootcamps, and 2 cycles of the accelerator. And all this is supported by 3 incubators, what we call in HCT incubation spaces. Is constant coaching and support provided by the Entrepreneur's Corner, and a high-level coaching and mentoring internal and external to HCT. One of the most important aspects of what we're doing is represented by our incubators. We have 3 fully operational in Dubai, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah, and 1 under construction in Abu Dhabi. So these are very typical incubators with prototyping and fab lab facilities, co-working space and office space for startups. And we are planning to launch, and we'll be launching them this year, 12 incubation areas in all the other campuses we have in the system. The other important point of what we are doing is applied research, and we want to really create the opportunity of technology translation from the lab to commercialization to startups. In the last few years, we've been working on a few very exciting applied research projects in very different areas of focus on the national strategy for innovation. Again, some of them have resulted into startups, and again, we are really keen to make this happen, also in cooperation with our industry partners. So this is a very quick introduction of what we have been doing so far. Today, we will have 10 startups from our last accelerator cycle presenting to the audience. And again, the audience is also composed by the members of the Emirates Angel Investors Association. And we were really keen to listen to those pitches, to hear the feedback from the judges who are members of the association. And then the rest of the day will be focused on a matchmaking exercise between our applied research projects and our students. So we will be asking our students to assess the potential for commercial exploitation of certain applied research projects, and we will try to engage them in those projects. I would like to move forward, and I would like to present to welcome our next speaker, Mr. Omar Al Mahmoud. So Omar is one of the youngest leaders in the UAE public sector with a deep understanding of technology, venture capital, entrepreneurship. Prior to the current role of CEO of the ICT Fund, he covered many roles and responsibilities, including managing the Technology Investment Department at Dubai Silicon Oasis Authority. Again, he's a technology entrepreneur. He knows very well this ecosystem. He knows very well the ingredients for the right recipe to make all this happen. I mean, ICT Fund has been a good partner so far to HCT. They provided funding to one of our labs in the incubation space of Dubai. And again, I'm really keen to hear Omar keynote speech. I mean, Omar has a bachelor degree in communication engineering from Khalifa University for Science, Technology and Research. And again, as I mentioned, is the CEO of ICT Fund, one of the pillar of technology funding in the UAE. So without further ado, I would like to invite Omar to address us with his keynote speech.
Thank you, Nicola. Thank you for the introduction, and also I'd like to thank HCT for having me today in presenting a keynote speech, and specifically targeted also to entrepreneurs who are in this Zoom session today. And of course, HCT is a key component of human capital, you can say, in the UAE. That's what we see. We've seen lots of successful alumni coming out of HCT and showcasing their prudence and their diligence when it comes to producing, you can say, results when it comes into the ICT sector. In my team, I have many of HCT graduates, so I also give my hats off to HCT for generating, you can say, high quality Emirati human talent. Without, you can say, talking too much about the background of the ICT Fund, for those who don't know, the ICT Fund is part of the TRA, which is the Telecommunication Regulatory Authority. We have set up a fund for the purpose of developing the ICT sector. So what I would like to share today is basically some brief background about the ICT Fund, and then of course what it takes to be successful as an entrepreneur. What are what I summarize as 8 keys to success when it comes to being a successful entrepreneur leading a startup. So the ICT Fund was set up previously in 2008 for the sole purpose of developing the ICT sector, and we do that through investments in education, R&D, incubation and entrepreneurship, and of course national technology initiatives. We have a partnership with HCT when it comes to supporting entrepreneurs, and in the short-coming weeks ahead, we would be announcing a funding, you can say, program for startups. So that is something to share with the audience today. In addition, that the ICT Fund is actually the funding agency behind the astronaut program, which was launched successfully in 2019. So without talking too much, I would like to share what it takes for as an entrepreneur. What are the 8, you can say, skill sets that the entrepreneur must have when it comes to becoming successful? So the first skill set that the entrepreneur must have is being self-aware of what he or she has in terms of either at what level they have in terms of when it comes to skill sets, capabilities, resources, funding, everything, or even their actions, what it takes to become, what does this action have any repercussions when it comes to taking this financial decision or selecting or dealing with their team members, or having whatever, you can say, impact on their surroundings. So if we should, as I say, is that we should be fully aware, self-aware, mindful of our interactions, or even our decisions. What sort of impact would it have? So that was skill set number 1. And there are many ways that, for example, a smile can be interpreted. A smile could be interpreted as someone being, you can say, easygoing, or it can be interpreted as someone who is not serious enough when it comes to a meeting. So I'm just saying that we should be fully aware when it comes to our actions, decisions, even our, you can say, subtle gestures that are not fully, you can say, registered. So we would be good to have, you can say, a reflection when it comes to either having a financial decision or even having an impact on the people around us, being team members or being even your customers. So having full self-awareness is a key successful, you can say, or skill set that a successful entrepreneur should have. The next one is having great expectations. Is usually what I see with entrepreneurs is that they would not have, you can say, too much when it comes to having great expectations and going into meeting their first customers, or having, you can say, great expectation when it comes to selling their products. There's always this hesitation, especially when there are first timers going into the market. But having great expectations, as we say it in Arabic, is that the outcomes would happen regardless. So if you target high or have great expectations, you're bound to achieve a higher, you can say, target. So having that as a core tenet when it comes to being, what are your expectations? My expectation is to succeed. My expectations is to sell as many products. My expectations is that when I go into this meeting and come out, that outcome would be positive when it comes to my startup. So having those great expectations, just as you expect an airplane to arrive on time, if you go to the airport, you expect that airplane to arrive on time. The same thing is when it comes to having your startup or having when trying to sell your startup or raise funding. You always should have great expectation and never be hesitant when it comes to what do you expect out of that meeting or deal or project or start. Of course, the path to the summit, or there's usually one summit in everywhere, but there are many paths. So even if you don't make it the first time, you can always pivot and change as you go along when it comes to becoming, or when you're trying to achieve success when it comes to being an entrepreneur. You don't necessarily need to find follow someone's path, or you don't need also to follow this first path you attempted to succeed when it comes to your startup. You can attempt many paths, but of course the summit is always one. There's only one summit at the top of a mountain, but of course there are many paths to that summit. So I would recommend that even if it doesn't work out in the first time, you can always attempt many different other paths that maybe other people have taken or no one has even ever taken before you. So don't give up when it comes to having you can say a shortcoming or being rejected when it comes to selling your product. The last one, or one of the most important ones, I think, is having self-discipline, is to get up every morning and actually work on your startup, or even having a set time that you go in and you lock yourself into a room and you actually finish something which needs to be done. Instead of being, for example, saying I'll do it the next time, or not even having a regiment or something which is structured and focused. You would need to have this as a core, you can say, a skill set if you really want to be persistent when it comes to showing results time and time again. So that is one of the key, you can say, skill sets I see as an entrepreneur that needs. Of course, organization. When many people are a bit messy, that's normal when it comes to being an entrepreneur. But again, having some sort of organization when you come in to set up your startup, or be as a person, as a startup or a founder, you would need to organize yourself, specific timelines, specific phases of the day. Even your desktop should be properly organized, your filing system, your emails, the way you act, the way you interact, the way you reply to emails, everything has to be organized. And these are one of the key, you can say, success factors when it comes to becoming a successful entrepreneur. And of course, diligence is to actually focus on when it comes to working on your startup, is to give it your all. Everything has to be diligently done. It doesn't have to be just halfway or half-baked, as they say. Of course, when you deliver an item or you deliver a product, you should focus on perfectionism when it comes to delivering your product or startup. Why would you target perfectionism? Is that it showcases a lot of trust when it comes to your brand, your product. And if everything isn't presented perfectly, if there are like issues with your slide sets, issues with the way you pronounce things, issues with the way that just shows that this person hasn't taken or hasn't done his homework when it comes to delivering himself or herself or his results or even his slides. So you would need to focus on perfecting your game, perfecting your product or service, or even perfecting the way people perceive you. So that is something I would highly recommend. That it gives more money for its value when it is presented. And of course, and the last one is prudence. When you take a decision, financial decision especially, you should be always super wary of what this decision repercussions may be. So you should always look, as I say, both ways, see what sort of you can say impact that this decision. Always be you can say, make sure that whatever you do it on based on some facts, or even knowing the outcomes in advance. So you plan ahead even when the outcomes are not favorable. So thank you so much. I don't want to talk too much about this, but again, I would like to extend my thanks also to HCT for having me today and for sharing some of my thoughts on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Omar. I really appreciate these insights. And again, I really took notes while you were speaking. Really, really interesting. And I really hope our new generation of entrepreneurs, so businessmen and businesswomen, are really taking notes while we're taking notes while you're speaking. I'm really keen to continue our cooperation. As you mentioned, we have something cooking, and we hope to announce it very, very soon. So I would like to transition now to our next speaker, Mr. Masaoud Al Masaoud, Vice Chairman of Al Masaoud Oil and Gas and board member of Al Masaoud Group. So Mr. Masaoud is an HCT graduate. I think you were Abu Dhabi College, if I'm not mistaken. You will tell us later. And a person with a great passion for entrepreneurship, and again, so passionate that as an entrepreneur investor, he founded the non-for-profit Emirates Angel Association in 2019. Is really creating all the infrastructure to allow business angels, angel investors to be part of the startup ecosystem in the UAE, which is key. Again, angel investors, business angels are a key component of any mature and well-working startup ecosystem. And this initiative is probably one of the key pillar of what is going to happen in terms of entrepreneurship in the UAE. So without further ado, I would like to invite Mr. Masaoud to address us, and we're really keen to hear you.
Thank you, Mr. Nicola, and thank you, Mr. Amar, for sharing the insights on what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur. I'm really honored today to be here again since my graduation from the Higher Colleges of Technology, Abu Dhabi Men's College, 2007. The Higher Colleges of Technology has always been on the forefront of technology, and really proud to see that this prestigious institution is more focused on technology today than ever. Young future leaders, I guess, choose the Higher Colleges of Technology because of its long history and of its proven track record of creating the leaders of the future. The Emirates Angel Investors Association was established officially in February 2020 to welcome great investors in the United Arab Emirates and to bring like-minded people who are interested in the field of angel investing under one umbrella, let's say. Angel investing is relatively new to the region, and the idea is birds of a feather flock together. So the more like-minded people you have on your team, the more likely you are to succeed. Just like a startup, it's all about the team, I guess. If you have a solid team, you're more likely to succeed. The way we work is we aim to support and promote startup investment in the United Arab Emirates. We connect the startups to the investors, and we basically aim to bring the best practices of the field of angel investing to the United Arab Emirates. Angels are very important to startups. Angels are experienced, I'd say, people who work in different industries and can add a lot of value to a startup, because usually startups, they have the idea, they have the passion, they have the energy, but they might need some guidance, they might need some hand-holding, and usually it's also about lacking a specific skill in a particular industry. So connecting to an angels network is very important to startups. When we thought about the slogan of our association, we came up with investing in the future. It's a dream we seek to achieve here with you today. The entrepreneurs, you entrepreneurs, are the future, and we are really proud of you. The UAE has been launching a lot of initiatives to support the startup sector in general, and we've seen these come to life today. You have the UAE citizenship support to scientists, the golden residency, and a lot of different initiatives. There's a lot of funds coming into play that also support these startups. The likes of associations like ours coming up is really there to help support that ecosystem and fill in that early investment gap. We recently also signed a cooperation agreement with the Emirates Entrepreneurs Association, which aims to establish a common ground between investors and entrepreneurs, opening more opportunities for entrepreneurs to advance their companies forward. I have to say that the UAE is leading the region when it comes to investing in early stage companies, and despite the pandemic, the UAE accounted for 56% of the total funds invested in deals by startups in the Middle East and North Africa, with a total of around $1 billion. It also acquired 26% of the total number of these companies during the same time. Today, we celebrate similar success stories, and you are the champions. You entrepreneurs are the champions. Our pitch day rule is to choose one winner, but in reality, all of you are winners for us. Do not, my suggestions for entrepreneurs, do not let anyone discourage you. Always have perseverance. Failure is not should not be a taboo. We come from a culture where failure maybe is not accepted, but failure should be worn as a badge of honor. And if you stumble once, you stand and you continue your path. I invite my colleagues from the Emirates Angel Investors Association and all the investors present here to support the startups, to support their competencies. The association's management will work with all the participants in coordination with the Emirates Entrepreneurs Association to offer them everything we can do to support their missions. Thank you so much. And lastly, we thank the Higher Colleges of Technology for allowing us to be with you. And we wish everyone the best of luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Masoud. Again, very inspiring. The role of angel investors is fundamental. As I said at the very beginning, there is no mature startup ecosystem that did without angel investors. Angel investors do not provide just funding, just investment. They provide something which is way more valuable. They provide coaching, they provide mentoring, they provide introductions. They are probably the most active investor that you can ever imagine. VCs will invest later in startups, but the role of an angel investor or business angel is really something that cannot be part of any successful startup. So again, is all these initiatives and also the alliance with the Entrepreneurs Association are fundamental, and we are really keen to see you guys operating in the UAE. and of course, and be with our startups today. Again, we are at the beginning of our pitch day, and probably we have 10 excited entrepreneurs, maybe a bit nervous, that are really waiting to present to us. So we will have 10 startups from HCT. Again, as I mentioned, these startups have been through the program we put in place. Certainly very early stage, but you can imagine the level of energy and commitment of these young entrepreneurs. So again, we must thank again Mr. Masahoud and Mr. Yassim to work with us for this event. It's fundamental to allow these entrepreneurs to pitch in front of potential investors. And we are going to go now with this sort of a Shark Tank style pitch session. We have 3 judges from the Emirates Angel Investors Association that will listen to the pitches, and at the very end we will nominate our winners. But again, as Mr. Masaoud mentioned, there are no winners. Again, our ultimate purpose is to empower every single student of HCT to become an entrepreneur, a successful businessman or businesswoman. So without further ado, I would hand over to Mr. Cesar Mukatil, who is in charge of the Startup Development Program, who will be our host for the competition. So Cesar will introduce the pitchers, and now it's over to Cesar. A quick note, actually. So the startup pitch competition, we start at 11:15 sharp. So we are a little bit early on the agenda. So please stay tuned. We are going to start at 11:15 sharp with the presentation. Again, as you can see in this slide, we have 3 judges from the members of the Emirates Angel Investors Association, Maha Al Fahim, founder of Highwater Venture Partners, Suwaidi, Executive Chairman of Strategy Advisors, and Tom Rebollini, CFO of Emirates Consortium. So please stay tuned. We're going to be back at 11:15.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to this part of day number 4, where we're going to have a very exciting session today with startups pitching in front of 3 very special judges today who are going to be with us, who are going to share with us their thoughts, who are going to share with the startups few directions as well for them to move forward in their entrepreneurial journey in the next part of their journey. So I'm Cesar Mukarzel, part of the Startup Development Program at HCT. I would like to welcome with me today Maha Al Fahim, founder of Highwater Venture Partners. Welcome, Maha, and thank you for joining us. I would like to welcome also Mana Suwaidi, who is the executive chairman of STRATEGI Advisors, and Tom Rebollini, the CFO of Emirates Consortium. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to being with us. And we're excited to have your thoughts and to hear your thoughts. I would like to give the floor just before going live with the different startups we have. I would like to give the floor to each judge, probably with a small intro before having the startups presenting their different presentations. And first, I would like to start with Maha. So Maha, please, if you can give us a small intro and small hi.
Thank you very much. So my name is Maha Al Fahim. I actually work for the Abu Dhabi Investment Authority, the macro research team, where I figure out what the next market trends in the next 1 year, 5 year, and 10 years, and then put money to where my mouth is and invest all of those views in a portfolio of fixed income assets. And then on the side, along with my family office, I have founded Highwater Venture Capital, and this is basically the venture capital arm of my family office, as well as my partner's family office that is based out of New York. And we invest predominantly in US-based tech startups, early stage.
Awesome. Thank you, Maha, for this intro.
Thank you
Mana, the floor is yours.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me and at the panel. First and foremost, I'm HCT graduate, 2002, Abu Dhabi campus. I'm also the founder of STRATEGI Ventures, which is a fund investing in startups, along and aided by Startup Studio. And look forward to meeting your startups today and have a wonderful session. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mana, for this intro. And I'll end with Tom. Tom, the floor is yours, please.
Pleasure to meet you all. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I've worked in Russia and Kazakhstan with PwC Management Consultancy in the past, with Mubadala here in the UAE. And I have helped Sheikh Mohammed bin Surur set up his private family office, incorporated it as Emirates Consortium. And I'm honored to be working for him and representing him here as part of today's pitches. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Tom. So before going with the different startups who are with us today, I would like to give just a few directions for our participants, for the startups, and for everyone who's following us today. So we'll have today a competition happening with different startups. Each startup will be doing their own presentation. This presentation is expected to take up to a maximum of 5 minutes. Then after your presentation, the judges might have few questions to you, so be ready for answering those questions. And right after that, we'll have a very brief time for the judges to complete their scoring, and then we will move to the next startup. We encourage everyone to stay connected, follow the webinar. At the end of this session, we're going to announce who are the top 3 winners of this competition. This competition is based on specific criteria. Those criteria are summarized as what the product is about, how your startup business is ready to go to market, what's the capability of your team, and basically how your business model is powered enough to be sustainable. So without losing any more time, I would like to ask our first startup today, who is Fukuro. So Fukuro is gonna start with the first presentation. The floor is yours, and please, we would like to ask you to share your screen from your own device. And let us know when you are ready.
Okay, we are ready to start. First thing, thank you for your time. We are happy that we have got your attention today, and we are going to start. As we all know, the technology is part of our life today, and for business, marketing is something special, or main, we can say it. So these days, the marketing ways have changed from the old school marketing to the new traditional marketing way, digital marketing ways that needs a high quality content that can reach the clients perfectly. So creating this high quality needs either a lot of time or expensive equipments to create these content. So we have came with a solution for that, for being a media production company that has affordable and custom packages for the businesses that can create to create their content through social media or different platforms, using young Emiratis that has talent and understanding for the Emirati culture. We have been established at July 2019, one of the few startups that have been already established to the market. We have worked with so many companies, so many businesses around the UAE, including the Higher College of Technology, Federal Youth Authority, and other small and big businesses through the UAE. Fukuro Production has won a tender at HCT for managing 26 social media startup accounts. And that's one of our biggest achievements until now, and we are planning to get more and more by days. So the market size of media production in the Middle East and Africa is about 66 billion, and that number was at 2018. And there is a summation that says it's going to increase by 12% for the next 5 years. For our revenue project, currently we have about 6 clients per month, and each client take an average services of average three services per client, and the average cost is 1,000. So assuming that from 2021 until 2023, we're going to have about 650 revenues, 650K, of course. So we have a big team, bigger than the one you can see, but we are talking about the main one right now. Starting from me, I'm Abdallah Al-Marzougi, I'm the CEO and the founder. And we have Hajar Al-Shallari, Muhammad Ali, Nabil Al-Shallari, and Alia. So before going on for what Fukuro Production is seeking and what's they are going, we are revealing to you today the new logo, the new identity of Fukuro Production. So I wish you can have 10 seconds of your time. So this is going to be the new logo for Fukuro Production. We are going to create a brand that can compete with the big media production companies such as Hollywood, Bollywood, and CNN, and whatever. Next. So Fukuro Production is seeking 250 for the next 6 months, using 150K for taking the new equipments, so we can keep the quality of our work, and using the 50K for different advertisement campaigns, creating the creating the present at social media and being there. And we are seeking 50 more for the storage, some stuff, maybe some subscriptions, some minor things that we will need for the next 6 months. And thank you for your time. I will be happy to answer your questions.
Thank you, Abdullah, for the presentation. I would like to leave the floor for the judges for a question from their side to you, Abdullah.
Yes, thank you, Abdullah, for a very good and summarized presentation. It's great to see you have a team behind you. It's great to see that there's a sizable market that you're attacking. In terms of your business model and the uniqueness of your product, can you take us through your thinking on those two areas?
For the business model, we have 6 different services, starting with photography, videography, motion graphic design, social media management, and branding. So we are working on 6 different services. We are providing them. And for the uniqueness, it's hard to be unique in such an industry, as there is different media production. But what we are seeking is being something bigger than this, getting the people that love being in media production, doing it, so they can produce the best unique, creative content that can be created in the next several years.
Understood. And who are your target customer segments for the services that you provide?
We are a B2B, so we are almost going to every and each business, starting from the small ones, going to the government entities.
Is there any specific niche in that, because B2B is obviously quite large, and I'm sure you've got exposure with the 26 accounts that you've run with HCT, but do you have any specific niches, something to do with Emirati culture that was on one of your slides, or particular focuses or strengths in terms of sub-segments that you work with?
Whenever we are working with someone, we suggest what may be better for them in the UAE, as we are in the community and we understand them. So giving them some advice, telling them what may be needed or not, because some people come to you, they have a plan in mind. So some plans are good, some plans are not, depending on our culture.
Understood. And a financial question for me, since I'm an accountant, the investment that you're seeking, is this your runway? Is this your path to profitability? Do you have a budget that says, with the 250,000 that I'm looking for, after that, whoever's investing will not need to invest anything else? Or are you not sure at the moment?
I can't say that I'm not sure. I've been working this past several weeks to create the new brand, create a system, and create the new campaign for the social media so we can reach the biggest number of clients. So I'm 90% sure that I'm getting that back. 90% sure that I will not need any more investment after this.
Abdullah, question here, please.
Yes.
How big is your team, and how many clients you want to reach in 12 months? I've noticed that you have a videography, photography, haven't seen content developers or editors.
Maybe they are not on the slideshows. We are a team of 12 people. Some of them do several things. So some of them are photographers, at the same time they are designers, at the same time they are videographers. So we have different variety. We have some people that are working especially for managing the business, from business development and finance and accounting. We have some people that are studying marketing, but they have a huge experience at videography and photography. So we have different kind of people that can help And we are trying to get the people that have passion in this industry so they can do what they love, not just seeking the money.
Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, judges, for your questions, for your insights. I'm gonna leave with a few seconds to complete your scoring, and by this time, I would like to ask our next startup, Abba Coffee, to prepare themselves for screen sharing and to start their presentation from their side. Thank you, Muhammad, for sharing the screen, and the floor is yours. Please go ahead. We're not able to hear you. I assume that you are still on mute.
Hello, everyone. My name is Muhammad Al-Marri. I am the founder and CEO of Abba Coffee. I'd like to introduce to our coffee startup first by asking you, how many of you like coffee? How many of you like or enjoyed making coffee at home? Myself and a lot of my friends really like coffee. Obviously, we like going to the coffee shops, and we like making coffee at home to have the same experience at the specialty coffee shops. Well, we found a lot of problems when it comes to making coffee at home, where we buy coffee from a lot of roasteries in the UAE. There's a lot of inconsistency with the quality of coffee beans. There are maybe 10 roasteries we can count that they're good. There's a lack of consumer awareness. They see a lot of roasteries. They see a lot of coffee beans available, the offerings. So they become indecisive of what to select out of all of these beans. And of course, no one wants to run out of coffee beans when it comes to drinking coffee on a daily basis. Well, the solution we worked on is to create a personalized coffee subscription platform. We want to match the customer's preference to the coffee beans we look and go to in the UAE. We deliver the coffee beans to the customer on a recurring basis, starting right now on a monthly basis. We provide the customers with knowledge how to make and to taste coffee, meaning if they receive the coffee, we also ensure them to that they taste the coffee as it should, and not waste the coffee, even if it's good quality. We are focusing on the unique subscription box model, where there is an unboxing experience that's very unique from other roasteries, where they just send a typical coffee box. We curate the coffee boxes out of a lot of roasteries. We go on cupping sessions. We select the coffees. We have unique sources of coffee when it comes to researching and interviewing our stakeholders. The coffee market is very big. It's more than $800 million. The annual growth is 7.5%. The forecast is from 2020 to 2025. There's more than 30 roasteries in the UAE, and there's a lot of people are getting into the business. For our pilot phase, we didn't start with subscription. We did one-time purchases. We got 10 customers. We sold 32 boxes, and we got 4,500 in sales. What we saw that we need more market research, focus groups, interviews, questionnaires. We need to diversify the coffee beans offering. We started with one roastery. We just signed up with we signed a contract with one, and in the coming weeks we are working with 4 more roasteries. We want to improve the website development to get a new payment gateway and fully implement the subscription platform. When we worked on the projections, we saw that with the current marketing, which is word of mouth, we need to shift to an investment of marketing and ads, and focus on getting 100 monthly or constant 100 monthly subscribers, and which will lead us to reach into 450,000 by the end of 2023. And if it's 200 monthly subscribers, which is what we're aiming for, we're looking at 900,000 in 3 years. Our team is very passionate. It's myself, Mohammed Al-Marri, and my co-founder, Abdullah Suwaidi. I work on having some empathy and develop the product and the subscription. Abdullah has more knowledge when it comes to coffee and selecting the coffee, and he works in operation when it comes to roasters. Our investment is 150,000. We're asking for 150,000 investment, dividing it by web development, marketing and ads, operational cost, and logistics. We need web developers, we need social media marketing, and we need to reduce the delivery time and cut the costs. Thank you.
Muhammad, thank you for the presentation. And besides myself being a big lover of coffee and a big fan of Aba Coffee, we also got some comments from the audience. Lots of coffee lovers around. I'm going to leave the floor to the judges for a quick Q&A before moving to the next startup. Judges, the floor is yours.
Sure, perhaps I will start. Thank you very much. Your passion is really evident. I would like to maybe first get you to talk more about your format pilot program. 10 customers is really not a lot. What do you think was the main really problem with acquiring further customers? Is it all marketing? Is it delivery? Or is it product? How would you weight those?
As I mentioned in the key insights, we're offering only coffees from one roastery. The idea was to make it very, very. I'm listening to a delay. So there's.
Sorry, let me interrupt you, Muhammad, just a moment. Maha, can I ask you if you can mute yourself to avoid the echo? Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so it's just because we wanted to narrow it down to one roastery. We wanted to seem like it's very very narrowed down. One roastery, changing the coffees, the types of coffees every month. And we really worked on word of mouth. We didn't invest like 0 dirhams, dirhams on the marketing. We only posted product announcements, and even in November we got the most sales just because we started announcing more products. But we never invested anything in marketing. What we believe is that with more marketing, we're definitely reaching our anticipated subscriber number.
What was the problem with having basically a relationship with only one roastery? Did you find that the customers wanted more variety? And also my second question would be, I think something that's unique about what you're building is the customization and catering to the customer needs. Can you tell us more about, is there a questionnaire that you send a new customer to find out, or is it, can you tell us more about how you find out what their wants are?
So for the first question, the idea was like focusing on this roastery. It's very well-known roastery. It has a lot of customers. It's just we wanted to gather data from them. We know the roasters. We have a very close relationship with them. We saw that with this phase, we will learn more about coffee and how to sell it. And if we diversify at once, like very fast, we will be very confused in what the people want. So we want to, because coffee beans come in origins, comes in different tastes. So there's a lot of data we need to gather. We each of the 10 customers we sent questionnaires to, several questions on, because we have a box with 2 different coffee beans. We asked them specifically, which coffee bean do you like more? What do you think of the delivery time? What do you think of the unboxing? So we do get the results, and we saw that we have a lot of errors when it comes to the service, and we developed them just right away in the next delivery.
Question, please, Mohammed. how do you deal with the roastery at the moment? Do you deal with them as a vendor, supplier? Are you planning to own your own roastery in the future? And what's your expansion in the region? Do you have a plan to expand? Thank you.
Yeah, so for the relationship with roasteries, now now we're working with one roastery, and as I said last week, we signed a contract with another roastery. We're getting wholesale prices as if we're a coffee shop. So we're doing this this is a platform. It's an e-commerce business, and when it comes to being a vendor opportunities, we are working with HCT for us to provide coffee beans for the 17 campuses. We're working to also approaching Youth Hub and offices in the Emirates Towers to also get support and supply the beans. And for the expansion, we're really focusing on a subscription box model. We really believe that this is the future. And if we do have more partners and we get more investments, we definitely can roast our own beans. We just need a very qualified roaster, and that's it. It's very doable.
Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you, Mana. Thank you, Maha. Thank you, Tom, for the insight and for your questions. Muhammad, well done. Thank you very much. Let's move to the next startup. Our next startup lined up is Cyber Hero. Shamma, the floor is yours. Please go ahead. And I would like here just to stress on a very important point, which is time. If you can, please keep the 5 minutes maximum. And I would like also to kindly ask the judges to remain in that window also to move forward with the time. Thank you very much. Shamma, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Shamma bin Hamad. I am the CEO and founder of Cyber Hero. Cyber Hero is a formal awareness program teaching the community about different types of cyber attacks and how to eliminate tomorrow's cyber attacks today. So the main issue here is after making a big research about cyber attacks, we found out that the main reason behind data and security breach is human error, responsible of 90% of such incidents, and 50% in UAE, 50% people who have two-factor authentication. Also, during the COVID, the cyber attacks has increased repeatedly, like more than 50%. In addition, Telecommunication Regulatory Authority have been reported like 34,000 cyber attacks in a month only. So as you know, the children are the common victims of cyber attacks. Nowadays, everything become online, so they are used to use social media and online games, which have a big probability to become a cyber victim. Our solution as Cyber Heroes, we found that we have to increase the awareness and enhance the cyber security capabilities among the community with different target groups. We are targeting children and students plus parents. So we are providing information security, e-learning. E-learning is learning management system that have different type of modules about different topics of cyber attacks. It will have some quizzes and evaluation system. We have also information security awareness sessions. This awareness sessions we provided for the parents and for the students in the school. We have it virtually or face-to-face also. Secure Future Exams Room. This is a Chrome extension that will help to lock down the exam environment and to save the confidentiality and integrity of the exam. We have also information security awareness gamification. This is our unique idea where we can enhance the cybersecurity in the children in early stage. We can teach them how to protect themselves against the cyber attacks, and we can teach them how to generate strong password and different topics. And it will have also evaluation system, like grading system, where we can deal with the schools and integrate it with their grading system. So we are unique because we are Emirati startup with a female lead startup. So we are the first gamification related cybersecurity in UAE, and we are focusing on teaching parents and the students at the same time. So the market validation, as we can see here, 1.1 million instances of phishing and 23 million instances of malware. So the number of cyber attacks is increasing. Also, the projected market size in the Middle East is 110 billion. So Cyber Hero have a big opportunity to get access to the market, and the annual growth will be 30.8% for the next five years. So here, actually, for in UAE, we have around 643 private schools, and we have 630 public schools. Overall, the number of the students is 1.1 million in UAE. So we are targeting for the next 3 years around 200 schools, 50% of them. So the projected revenue, it's going to be like 2 million if we calculate it per service we have. Our business model is a subscription model. So the overall going to be like 10,000 per school. And if we calculate it 10,000 per 200 schools, it will come to 2 million for the next 3 years. So yeah, we will gonna need like, we are expecting to get 200,000 to be spent for the next 6 months. It will help us to hire the programmer, like outsourcing the gaming programming, which will have a higher quality from the professionals. And we have internal operations of the company, and we have teaching materials to provide the best quality for the users, and for subscriptions, for the license, for the software that we are using to develop the courses. And we have advertisement for Google advertisement and social media. We have for creating videos, like outsourcing a professional to do it for us, and logistics. So this is me, Shama bin Hamad, and my co-founder, Hassal Bloushi. We are participating in GITEC Supernova competition, and we had an interview with HCT, with Emirates News, with Al Bayan News also. And we were participating also in TIP Summit in Abu Dhabi. So we had a good opportunity there, and we have actually our own clients. Like, we already contact like 3 to 5 schools, and already presented some awareness sessions, which they like it, and we are already working with them. So this is our contacts. Thank you. Any questions?
Shama, thank you very much. Well done. I would like to limit the questions here for one question from the judges, please. We're running behind schedule, and I would like to bring it back as much as possible. So let me ask Tom, do you have any question for Shama before moving to the next startup?
Just one question around the customers. You're planning to train people in schools, parents, kids, and teachers, and you're planning to get a subscription from the school for that on a monthly or annual basis. Is that right?
Monthly, yeah.
Okay, understood. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Shama, well done. Thank you very much for your time and for this amazing presentation. Let me go to the next startup, and the next startup lined up today is eFate. And eFate is quick enough, and they are ready to present their part. Please go ahead. We are not hearing you, so kindly unmute yourself.
Sorry, that's. Can you see my screen about the PowerPoint?
The screen, we can see it very well, and we can hear you well. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Okay, shukran. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to our pitch. My name is Mohammed Al Hamadi. I'm a co-founder and CEO of eFate, an electronic waste management company. So, how many of you dispose your electronic waste in the right way? Well, you are not alone. Just out of 50 billion tons of e-waste that produced annually, just 20% of that is recycled. So the other 80, which is consumed a lot of natural resources, is going to landfills, which is a wrong practice. Also, the increase of data privacy concerns, people become less likely to trust their e-waste is properly recycled. And with difficulties of transportation here in UAE especially, people are also less likely to recycle their e-waste. So it provides a solution that will centralize consumers of e-waste with the e-waste recycling facility here in UAE with a click of a button. How? By providing an accessible drop-off stations within communities, which will make it easy for them to dispose their e-waste with a one step. Secondly, by providing valuable insights within our actionable reports for especially for B2B and B2G clients, and we can monitor our e-waste recycling process from A to Z to ensure that all data is being professionally and environmentally friendly way. Our competitive overview. We have a private competitive and competition and a government one. The private one, it is EnviroServe, one of the biggest facility here in UAE that will recycle e-waste, and their major work is within Middle East. So they have a big facility that can accept a larger quantity of e-waste, but they receive low quantity of e-waste, and have limited opportunities with the direct cash exchange and low customer base here in UAE. Yes, they're based in Dubai, but they work internationally. Also, let's talk about Tadweer, which is a government waste management company. They have difficulties to process a request for pickup waste, as we tried. They use third-party e-waste recycling that they don't have their own, and they have no drop-off station for e-waste, especially in Abu Dhabi. Let's talk about our expansion plan. We aim to work with residential communities as well as public and private organizations. At the moment, we are working with both Sustainable City and HCT. We look forward to expand our network for the clients among the key Emirates like Abu Dhabi and Dubai, that we're targeting key sites and events such as Expo 2021, I think now it's called. So EFIT is seeking 170,000 dirhams for the next 6 months that will be divided into 3 segments. First, for the marketing, mostly will go through social media advertising, and we can use it for awareness and education sessions that will be either Zoom or live. Also, for the logistics, we aim to purchase at least 2 pickups that will make it easy for us to reach far customers to ensure that we can get at most the e-waste that they have. For the team expansion, also we need 2 laborers and for the drivers of these pickups, and we need a special IT person that experience in IT to develop our IT system that will be monitor and for the actionable reports. And we need an accountant in the future, not for now, to manage our finance. Let's talk about the team that made the EFIT alive. Our team has a diverse combination of skills that will play towards jump-starting EFIT. Myself, Mohammed Al-Hamadi, I'm the CEO and I have background in asset management and finance. My colleague Bahrahim Saeed is the CMO, will be in charge of marketing, PR, and delivering awareness sessions for people. Our CEO, Muhammad Saleh, has experience in managing operation and will ensure that our startup is efficiently managed from day one. Let's talk about the new policy that Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid is said about within the first of this year. EFIT is aligned with Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid policy and goal by adoption circular economy that will encourage sustainable consumption and effective waste management. Here I said thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy our pitch, and you can ask me any question. I would be glad to answer.
Thank you very much.
Muhammad, thank you very much for the presentation. I'm gonna ask Maha to ask the question here, and we're gonna limit it to 1 question. But in the meantime, I would like also to ask our back admin support if we can share the links, the websites of the startups that are there on the chat for everyone, so that they can also have access to their websites and visit them. Especially that we are more than 300 viewers today, so we had more than 300 participants as we speak and attending this very interesting session. Maha, the floor is yours with the question, please.
You make a strong case for the social impact of
ما سمعت ممكن
I'm not
قطع.
sure if it was only me, Maha, but the connection got unstable. If you can quickly repeat
Okay.
your question, please.
Not a problem. So the question was, can you speak about the point where you will reach revenue generation and the path to that?
Yes. So our main revenue will come after we collect our e-waste from communities and people. We will collect it and sell it to a recycling facility that we have a special pricing for us as a company, different than other companies. So this is our main revenue, but we have other revenue by providing services for companies, especially to manage their e-waste life cycle and to know exactly if their e-waste is really need to recycle or they can use it more. So before we recycle, we should reuse and reduce the consumption.
Muhammad, thank you very much. Judges, thank you very much for the questions. Our next in line is Healthy Touch. And I would like to ask the team to be ready. In the meantime, I would like just to confirm with the judges with a thumbs up if the scoring is going well, everything is okay, no issues faced. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Maha, I suppose everything is fine from your side also? Perfect. Okay, thank you. So Healthy Touch, I hope that you are ready to share your screen and to come live with us.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام. تفضل. Sharing screen, please. Okay. تفضلوا أساتذة. The floor is yours. Let's stick to the 3 to 5 minutes maximum pitch from your side. Thank you. Please go ahead. Yeah.
I'm Abdullah Yusuf Abdullah Zarani from Sharjah campus. And our project, it's about the health. We call it Healthy Touch, our startup name. And that's gonna improve the people. That's gonna improve the people to take the medicine on time, because when we do our research, we found like around 75% of the people, they don't take the medicine at the time, and 15% they don't take the medicine or they forget to take the medicine. And the doctors, like when they have an appointment with the doctors, they said, why this patient doesn't improve, and the problem it was about the people, they don't take the medicine on time. And our solution is about that. Like we need something to get the people to take the medicine on time. And actually what we build the application that will gonna remind the people to take the medicine on the time. And also we have a smart pills box with that application. It will gonna contact with each other. So the patient will gonna put the pills and that box, and when it will come the time, it will gonna give the patient reminder, and it will give him alarm to take the medicine. So he should to open the box and to take the medicine. And also our business model, our target patients will be 600,000 patients. As you see here, the business model, and it will be monthly to pay. And that application, it will be 5 dirhams. And we hope in 2024 we get 36 million. And also we contact with, as you see here, with the University Hospital in Sharjah, and they agree to give us 15 patients to start with them and to see our project, how it will be with them. And as I say, what is Healthy Touch? It has a reminder and it has a medical record. Like you will gonna use that medical record if you will go any country, anywhere around the world. So if you need to get your medical record, it's gonna take like between 1 day till 7 days. But with Healthy Touch, just you will gonna click and you will gonna download your medical record in that time. Because when you will go to the doctor, just we're gonna show him your number, and anything he will gonna write to you, it will be automatic in your profile with Healthy Touch. So as I said, it will has a smart pills box that it will has all your pills in that box, and it will give you on your time. Just that.
Abdullah, we're not able to hear you. I'm not sure if you are still talking.
No, I already finished. Done.
Done? Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Abdullah, for the presentation. Thank you, Healthy Touch. I'm going to take one question from the judges, and I'm going to give it to Mana this time. Mana, the floor is yours, please.
Abdullah, thank you for the presentation. If you can, please let us know, what is the technology? Is it based on app, client subscription, or its API connection to hospitals? Thank you.
Abdullah, you are on mute. Yeah.
It will be the subscription.
So how you think you're going to scale up and increase subscription? On what basis? Marketing basis or other resources? Thank you.
The volume patients.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, Healthy Touch, for your presentation. Judges, thank you very much for the questions. Let us move to the next startup in line today, Match My Skin. So our next startup in line is called Match My Skin, and I will leave the floor to Match My Skin to share their business. Noura is there with us. Thank you very much, Noura, for joining us. You are ready to share your screen, I guess. And we always enjoy your pitch, Noura. So please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Hello, I hope you are all doing great. May I ask you a question? Have you ever spent time, money, efforts on searching, buying, and using a product that ends up not matching your skin? How does that feel? Frustrating, right? Because you end up wasting time, money, efforts, and resources on ineffective products. But why is it ineffective? First, do you know your skin type? Do you know your skin issue? Well, a lot of people out there lack the knowledge and awareness on how important it is to understand and know your own skin before buying or using any product. And that is where we come from. Match My Skin, a startup company that will help people discover health and beauty through an artificial intelligence-powered mobile application. We're specialized in analyzing both customer data and product data, then match them together. Some of our services are better online shopping experience when it comes to cosmetics, like buying skincare products and makeup, along with skin consultation and beauty sessions with experts. All of that is happening within our application. Our industry overview is a combination between beauty market, e-commerce, and skincare market. As you can see, these markets are healthy and growing, which gives us a great opportunity to grow in the market. After doing a research on the market, we figured out that there is around 5 million women and men in UAE of the age range 15 to 50. And they are our target market because that is the age where people start to take care of their beauty and skin. Let's say 3% of them will be using our app, and each person will be spending 500 dirhams per month on skincare products and makeup. So the revenue that we will get from the the 4% commission will be around 3 million. And then we will assume that there is 5% of our users subscribers. Our team is made of 3 people. Me, who is the CEO, I am Noura Al-Zaraoni, the CEO and founder. We have Mariam Al-Zaraoni, the co-founder, and our partner, who is the technical expert in artificial intelligence and data science, Mohammed Haytham Al-Minjad. Match My Skin proposed an initial investment of 200,000 dirhams for over the next 6 months. We will be using that for branding, advertising, and marketing, which will be like the company profile, website design, and also the digital advertisement, and also paper advertisement. And then we have the licensing and registration. We have to register our company. We have to get license for some software and tools to develop our application. Then the research and development, where we will be doing researches on the skin, on the products, and also we will be contacting skin experts and beauty experts to get to know more into this and develop what you could say a program with high accuracy. And as you can see, there is also the software development. And then if you want to reach us, please feel free to reach us and contact us through the list displayed. Also, before we finish our talk, let me ask you this question. If you or anyone need any help to solve their skin issue, why don't you join us? We have a solution for you.
Noura, thank you very much. Just to highlight that as soon as you started asking the first few questions, I saw a smile on Maha's face. So I'm gonna give the floor to Maha. By the way, my wife will be the first your first client. So you have clients already lined up. I'm not sure from the judges who would like to take the question. Maha, I assume that. Yeah, Maha, the floor is yours.
Actually, this question is common among us. What is the basis? Can you describe the technology a little bit more? Your algo. What does it exactly do? Or what do you envision it? Is it built, or are you going to hire someone, use that 120,000 for it? Please take us through that. And also, if your background is in technology.
Okay, so I am from an application development background, and I have some understanding in the AI and machine learning, because I did some self-studies. Also, we have in our team someone who is working on this field, which is AI and machine learning, and he will be helping us a lot with the development. And about the skin, the knowledge of the skin and let's say the beauty market and beauty products. We have people that we connect to, like companies, cosmetic companies, and they are helping us. Let's say there's a CV, not a CV, I mean a survey that we are developing to gather information about the skin and train our machine. And this survey is being reviewed by skin experts in South Korea. And South Korea is known for cosmetics related to skincare and beauty.
Thank you, Noura, for the answer. You wanted to say something, Noura?
Thank you so much.
Okay.
It was my pleasure.
It's your last chance. Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you, Noura, Maha, Mana, and Tom. Thank you again for your insights. Let's move to our next lined up startup, and our next startup is called 3DCP. So I would like to ask the team from 3DCP to prepare themselves and get on with the presentation and their investment pitch.
Good morning. Hello.
Hi, Muhammad. Good morning. We are able to see your screen. and would be great if you can put it full. And the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Can you see my screen? All right.
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Good morning. We're 3D construction and printing. My name is Mohammed Al-Awali, and we're basically a consultancy agency at the moment. Our team is made of 5 members, 5 founding members. Our chief executive officer is Abdullah Suwaidi. Myself, I'm the chief marketing officer. We have the chief operations officer, Isa bin Shagoui, the chief missions officer, Arim bin Ali, and the chief technology officer, Hussein Al-Yasi. The issue we're facing in the region, and especially in the United Arab Emirates, is that we have lack of studies related to thermal efficiency and heat transfer properties of 3D printed walls. We do not have many solutions for these buildings and buildings which are meant to be built in hot climates in the region. And we don't have a professional consultancy agency who are able to find solutions and give consultancy to construction companies and projects that are meant to be built using 3D printers. How we come into play is that we conduct thermal assessments and find out the heat transfer properties and provide proper solutions related to the geometric structure, the internal geometric structure of 3D printed walls. And we co-create new designs for walls which are meant to be built and walls which have already been built, how they can be improved. We provide consultancy in this manner. The industry overview. As you can see, the global market size in 2019, last year, was $310 million. The compound annual growth rate within 8 years is estimated to be 106.5%. 6 years from now, the global market size is going to be $4 billion. Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid has put a target for the United Arab Emirates, especially Dubai, that 25% of housing is to be 3D printed and built using 3D construction technology. We as a company want to be a part of this 25% and help to reach this target in the fastest possible time. Our business model. Our pricing range is average of 150 to 200,000 dirham. In 2022, next year we predict to have 5 clients at the package price of 100,000 dirham, and the revenue is estimated to be 500,000 dirhams. 2 years from then, our predicted clients increase by 4 times to 20 clients. Package pricing will also increase to 150,000 dirham, and the revenue will also increase to 3 million dirham, as you can see. Our competitive advantage in the market is from the thermal heat assessments and thermal properties of walls and the studies that we're going to be carrying out, and we have already carried out. We're able to increase thermal resistivity of the walls and reduce heat transfer. This will also reduce energy costs. It will increase the wall's durability and strength, which will alongside increase the wall's life cycle. This will reduce maintenance costs, and it will also make the wall greener and have a less environmental impact on energy consumption. What we have achieved today. First, we were able to get a trade license by the Dubai Economic Department. The first client we worked with was DIWA and the Research and Development Center in Al Qadra, and we did testing on a small 3D printed building that they have. We tested the wall and the thermal properties of the wall. We finished this in August of 2020. We then participated in GITEX last year in December, and we are currently working with Dubai Municipality on the tallest 3D printed building. This is a pro bono project as well. Our expansion plan. By 2025, we plan to have a fully equipped and developed research and development center, which will allow us to conduct much more thorough tests and studies, which will allow us to even start construction 5 years later at maximum. Our roadmap. Firstly, we built the 4th quarter of 2020. We have already built a testing chamber in the higher colleges of technology. And in the 1st quarter of 2021, we want to penetrate the market through pro bono projects and conducting more studies and thermal assessments. We want to, in the 3rd quarter of 2021, we want to generate revenue through clay printing to be able to, it's like a side business to be able to push us forward. In the fourth quarter of 2021, we'll be developing paying customer portfolios, and in the fourth quarter as well, we will launch all of our services into the market to be able to get clients, paying clients. Our proposal of 200,000 dirham in the first 6 months. Firstly, we need 50,000 dirhams for software, since all of this testing needs a lot of different softwares and simulations to be done. The two most important softwares are SolidWorks and Energy Pro. We also will need a ton of equipment costing 100,000 dirham just to begin with. And then we'll have to go into business development and freelance employment, getting professionals into the company. We'll need 50,000 dirham to start with this. You can contact us through any of these links.
Thank you. Thank you, Muhammad, for the presentation. Thank you very much. I'm gonna leave the floor to Tom for a question from the jury side before moving to the next in line.
Thank you, Mohammed. Very interesting presentation. What is your assessment of the competitive landscape for your solution? What competition do you have in the country and the region?
Currently in the United Arab Emirates, the walls which have been built, they were built by companies from outside. They brought in other companies from the outside. We don't have a proper consultancy agency in Dubai especially that's able to provide solutions. So as of the moment, we don't have much competitors in the market within the country, within the city.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Muhammad. A quick reminder for the judges to ensure that we are doing the scoring for the startups. Before moving to our next startup, that is Pieces of Happiness. So I would like please to ask POH to be ready and share the screen so that we can start with their investment pitch. Hi, Salama.
Hello, everyone.
We are able to see your screen. We are able to hear you well. So please go ahead. 3 minutes on your side.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Salama Shamsi, and I'm the founder and CEO of Pieces of Happiness. So first of all, the case was that there was a gap in the market. There was a lack of customized chocolate for special occasions in the confectionery industry. There was a limited to high quality chocolate within the region. There was an inability for customers to design their own customized packages. So our solution, we are providing a higher level of customization. We are offering a variety of different unusual flavors in the market with a higher quality. For example, rose and lavender flavors. Our products come in unique packaging, specific for events and occasions. Our unique selling point, as I mentioned, a higher level of customization, as customization is already existing in the market, but we are at a higher level. We are also offering different flavors. As shown in this picture, this is my recent product. My business is a running business already. Also, if there is a product that is already in the market, I provide a unique service. For example, here there is a collaboration between me and a setup business, which is not existing in the market, to attract customers and give them a very affordable price. That is also coming in a very unique packaging. The market validation for chocolate industry, as statistics shows that in the UAE, the industry is 175 million, which is a very great opportunity for my business to enter this market. This is the market that is projected for 2020 and 2023. So my business model is applying a very simple percentage of profit. This shows the 3 products that I offer with the revenue and the projected revenue for 2023. For now, my team is just me with many collaborations and suppliers and a higher network. But for the future, I need to hire people for marketing, website designers, social media, logistics, and chefs. So the proposal is that the initial investment is 211,000, 11,000 for a new packaging and marketing and social media because it's very important for the business. Also, and renting in retail shops, as my goal is to expand the distribution channels. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Salama. Thank you for the presentation and the nice products that you have there in the market. I would like to ask someone from the judges for a question, if there's any.
Just a very short one from me. Your product does look very interesting and attractive, and personalization is obviously key. I'd like to challenge your thinking on why you would need to go through retail channels to deliver something that is customized in such a fashion.
So I'm choosing to have a collaboration with retail shops because customers sometimes to increase the level of satisfaction and convenience for customers because my business is just online. So it needs to be for at least 1 day for delivery. So for customers to have their convenience to come to visit the shop anytime and take their products.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Salama. Thank you, Tom, for the question. Thank you, Mana. Thank you, Maha. I just wanted to check again if the scoring is going well from your side with a thumbs up. Tom, yes, thank you. Maha is doing well. Mana is doing well. Thank you very much. So so far we've been with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 startups already, and we've been. I think we are all enjoying the presentation so far. Let me hear from you quickly, Mana, before moving to our 9th and 10th startup in line. How do you feel about it so far? A quick feedback in the midway.
Very inspirational. A lot of energy there, a lot of thinking. They come up with a definition for a challenging market so far. Great products. What I would suggest or advise also to look at competition in a very thorough way, study the competition and find the gaps. But so far so good. Well done.
Awesome. Thank you, Mana. Maha and Tom, I would also would like to hear from you quickly before moving to our 9th startup. Maha, from your side, how do you see it so far? You are on mute. We're not able to hear you.
Apologies. One thing that stands out to me is that many of them have a social impact angle. And I quite appreciate that because they are really thinking of real world problems with a commercial solution.
Just as
Tom, what about you from your side?
Yeah, just as an ex-management consultant, the idea of a template on business model canvas, which is obviously publicly available, would really help everybody. I think everybody's got most of the building blocks, but that is something that would help unify or the way that people see businesses.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Maha, thank you, Tom, thank you, Mana. So our next in line is a company called El Ward, and Iman should be joining us. I think she should be there by now. I'm not sure if she's already, she already moved to the main platform. So I would just like to ask our support team to keep us informed on Iman and on washing space. I think they are being in the room prepared, or they are now on the transition phase. In the meantime, what I would like to hear from you, Maha, you mentioned about your family business company, which is a venture partners, if I'm not mistaken, which you are used to investing in companies and startups. So tell us, what would be your first decision-making point, the thing that says, yes, I'm gonna do it with this startup?
The team, very easy answer. It's really the team, especially this early. It's an entrepreneur doesn't have to just have the right idea and be in the right market at the right time, but to be able to really work on the business with absolute, from their heart, and also with absolute resilience is something I always check for. Another thing is, as I look for their awareness of shareholder value. Sometimes entrepreneurs, I think of their own companies and their own aspirations, which is fine, but don't necessarily know how to return money to the shareholders. So that's something also I think about a lot.
Yeah. Thank you, Maha, for this insight. I mean, I always believe that at this stage in a lifetime of a startup or of a company, it's the cavalier who's more important than the horse itself, right? So he's the one driving this startup moving forward, and I think what you said confirms this hypothesis again. The team is quite important. They are the ones who are going to drive the startup forward, the topic forward. They are the ones who are going to be resilient with the challenges, with the obstacles they are going to face. And they are the ones at the end of the day bringing value back to shareholders, as you clearly mentioned. Okay, so I saw Iman joining us. I'm not sure if she's with us again. I think she's not yet ready. But in the meantime, let me go to you, Mana, and I would like to hear from you. I would keep the same question. So beyond the team, what would be the go or no go factor for you to move forward and invest in a startup at this very early stage?
Well, when it comes to this type of investment, the growth is always the target. It's definitely not the revenues in the early stages. It's not the clientele base, but it's very importantly the growth potential in a mid to long term. That's the go-to. And I would echo Maha as well. A team is very important, and how to put together a founder and a co-founder and maintain that understanding. I think our next startup is here. So back to you.
Hi.
Okay, Iman. Hi, Iman. The floor is yours. Please make sure you are able to share the screen, and we are listening to you for the next 3 minutes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Iman Hassan. I am a student in HCT major management and quality, and I am the owner and founder of Highwater collection, which is Emirati fashion house. The need of GCC females is to wear abayas with unique style and customized size that to ensure that it's fit them, and we get Highwater we fulfilling this needs. Our target market is the female wearing abayas in UAE and Saudi Arabia, where we have the number of GCC 18 million, while the 9 million of them wearing abayas. In last year, 2020 was successful. We have a sale revenue 2 million dirham, and we are targeting, and we hope our sale for 2023 will reach 80 million by getting the improvement by supporting marketing and increase sale by place and some special services. Our product that we are selling, as you see, abayas and dresses and sport collections and special packages like dresses with abayas, with other different type of collections upcoming. We sell at affordable prices to get more clients for daily wear and sport collections abayas. The development process is that I design the dress and send it to the tailor to provide the first sample. Then I approve it or reject it. After that, we distribute it. We distribute it from 4 different channels: website, shops, WhatsApp, and Instagram. We have our store, elwordcollection.store, which is fully functional, and 5 different shops in UAE and Saudi Arabia. We also select through WhatsApp and with 17,000 followers in Instagram. We have different type of competitors from social media and from other famous brands like New Street, Nafis Design, and Boksha. Our advantage is that we are focusing on customer service and needs, where the clients be happy, and we have a modern of traditional dresses designed by a young Emirati designer. It's mixed between Western fashion and Middle East fashion. Currently, Elword Collection have 5 different departments: marketing, sale, operation, finance, legal. We already have team in place. We also use third parties, and we have planned to grow teams in the future. What we are planning to do next is to expand our market through marketing campaign and partners in Saudi Arabia, to develop the website with AI technology, with virtual dress, and create new lines on the collection like mother-child. Elword Collection is looking for 250,000 investment in year 1. We will use this investment to develop AI virtual fitting room and creating a smart workshop, and for our many marketing campaign. And the second year, in year 2, we are planning to open a physical boutique, and also we plan to expand and increase the market campaign in GCC. Thank you for listening to my pitch. If you have any question, feel free to ask.
Iman, thank you for this presentation. And I would like to take, please, a question from the judges before moving to our last startup who is going to present today.
Quickly, just one quick question on the AI and the smart measuring room. Does that mean that your products are actually custom tailored to each customer, or how would that technology be used?
Nowadays, this technology are using just for like a screen, because some of the customer prefer to do as their sizes, like not the standards. They like, for example, their own size. So they can by getting the screen on the place, and they getting the sizes directly, like from the best and the length and the hand length, like this. And we are going before we are doing this in home service. We are going home service to take the size of the customers. But nowadays, because COVID, we are not able to do this just for the safe, and we need to make everything easy to keep customers also easy to buy with buying also from their size. No problem with the sizes.
So they are bespoke, tailored for each customer, correct?
Yes.
Iman, please reach out to me after. We've invested in a company based out of New York called Altras that is specialized in the AI technology part and provides it for many top luxury brands globally. So please reach out. It could be of interest to you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Maha. Thank you, Iman, for the presentation. We would like to move to the last startup today. This last startup is called Washing Space, and I believe Sarah and Reem are already with us. So I'll give you the floor in the next 3 minutes. Please let us know when you can share the screen, and we are all ears.
Hi everyone. Hi, this is Sarah speaking from Washing Space, Reem. do please share the screen. Okay. Thank you, Reem. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sarah Mshavich. I'm the founder of Washing Space Smart Apps, and the one who's changing and share screening the pitch deck is my sister, co-founder of Washing Space Smart Apps. Today, we are going to introduce you our startup company, and let's start, please. So we did a market research and we interviewed more than 40 laundry stores in Sharjah. And we have come out with a conclusion that not all suburbs in Sharjah provide laundry services. Not all suburbs in Sharjah provide different types of laundry services. And there is no single platform that combines all laundry services to provide all suburbs of Sharjah. The keyword here is all suburbs of Sharjah of laundry services. So that's what we come out with the conclusion after we did an interview with 40 laundry stores, with more than 40 laundry stores here in Sharjah. So our solution is Washing Space Smart Apps. It's an app and a platform to provide an access to multiple laundry services in one platform, creating also an online platform to provide laundry services in Sharjah. And we are partnering with an experts and laundry services that have been working for years. So our competitive advantage is that point. We only partner with trusted laundry providers. Our delivery covers all areas in Sharjah. And I am proud to say that Washing Space Smart App is managed by young Emirati youth that are aware of the market challenges. The laundry service industry is huge. The global market itself can reach to $14.5 billion US, and in UAE itself, the e-commerce can reach out to $7.7 billion US, and that's been calculated in 2019. In Sharjah alone, I would like to say that this is an estimation we did comparing to another country such as UK. We have calculated that the e-commerce alone can reach to $90 million US, as well as the laundry services industry. So laundry industry here in Sharjah is quite a buzz. It's a big market. And I would like to introduce, Reem, can you please, and I would like to introduce you and review with you our projected revenues. So for example, if we targeted 1 million people in the target size in the Sharjah suburbs, and if, for example, there's 50 people with an average of 40 dirhams, we multiply within the next 3 years, our revenue can reach to 2 million dirhams. So that's from 2020.
I'm not sure if it's only me, Sarah, but we lost the connection. We're not able to hear you anymore. No, it's still not working.
The voice is cutting.
Yeah, Reem, would you mind to take over this part?
Yes, sure. So our team, Sarah Al-Ali, who was presenting earlier, she is the CEO of Washing Space. She manages the operations and relations with the partner, and for me, I am responsible for all of the technical operations in Washing Space. Our investment proposal. Washing Space is seeking an initial investment of 200,000 dirhams to conduct the following activities in the next 6 months. So we are planning to convert our website
to a web application, which we will need 20,000 dirhams, and we need 30,000 dirhams for our marketing. We will also need 2 vans to execute the logistic, which will cover $50,000. And to launch the applications, the application of washing space through the App Store, we will need 50,000 dirhams. And we will need to update the application, so that will include an additional 50,000 dirhams. For a non-financial support, we will need more partnerships and build a customer base here in Sharjah, and diversify the service of washing space through different partnerships. So in the future, we will want to expand our services like washing cars and cleaning buildings and houses. You can contact us through LinkedIn, Instagram, email, or our WhatsApp number. And you can also visit our website. So in general, the process when the customers... Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can. Thank you, Reem. Thank you, Reem, and thank you, Sarah, for the presentation.
Thank you so much.
That was quite interesting. I see Tom raised the hand for a question from the panel side. Please go ahead. We're not hearing you, Tom. You are on mute.
Sorry, it's more of an offer than a question. We have a large industrial laundry in Abu Dhabi. We are looking at building an app for our B2C retail distribution of laundry in Abu Dhabi. I would like to offer the help or the mentoring of our general manager of the laundry. He used to own his own laundries in the past, to help you guys grow with your business in Sharjah. Would you like that?
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much.
We'll reach out after this meeting. Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you, Tom. This reminds me very, very well of Shark Tanks, right? So it's a great offer that you put there. Also, Maha's support on the previous startup. So Mana, we would need to see the scoop from your side still on one of the startups. But before hearing from you, Mana, I would like just to ensure that the judges submit their form. So please, in the next 5 seconds, we would like the judges to submit their form to allow our back admin team, back office, to finalize the evaluation in the next minute or two, so we can announce with Nicola the top 3 with the final selection from our side. So I would like to have a thumbs up from the judges if we are good with the submission. All good? Submitted, Mana. Tom submitted. And I hope Maha is giving it a final quick look before submitting. Yeah, submitted, done. Okay, thank you. So our back office team will be supporting in the meantime. Nicola, would you like to say a few things?
Yeah, thank you, Caesar. And thank you, Maha, Mana, and Tom. Again, I think we all agree that the flow of presentation was quite riveting, and I really enjoyed all these startups. I know all of them pretty well, but I hope you enjoyed the show as much as I did. Again, it's really, for me, it's really worth mentioning to see this youth. Again, we need to remember that these guys and ladies are in their 20s, but they are really they really have the energy, the grit, and the professionalism of a businesswoman and businessman. So I think is a transition that is not easy to move from being a student to run a business. And again, in few weeks and in few months, most of these teams have made across the chasm, and they're doing great. I mean, you saw a startup that in a few months has been able to accumulate 2 million dirham in revenues. Again, And again, the founder has been working essentially by herself, from design to operations. So again, thank you very much to the judges. I'm really looking forward to see the winner and the winners of this competition. Again, we are not looking for winners. It will be the market and that will decide the most successful startups. Again, we are all pleased, I guess, to see all this energy and commitment emerging from HCT, and again, I'm really happy to have the Emirates Angel Investors Association to be with us today, to have you judges, and to hear that you are keen to support. Again, very often, as we said a few times, is not only the investment that is important, but is the mentoring, is the strategic guidance that can be given to the startups. So again, we are very keen to see you engaging. Again, not just you as judges in this competition, but also your colleagues who are part of the audience today to engage with the startups, and we're more than keen to provide connections and contact details of the startups for any of you that's interesting to move forward. I think, Cesar, we are good to announce our winners.
We are good to announce, but just before that, since I heard something from Maha and from Tom, I would like to give Mana the chance also to give us an offer today or something for the startups. So Mana, can we hear quickly from you?
Well, first of all, thank you very much. I mean, I must say, among all conferences of startups or fund and investments that I've attended in the past, this is a group of entrepreneurs who have a future, very well thought of putting them together and support them. So thank you, HCT team. I would wait for the announcements, but I've decided that a few of the startups are likely a fund. Our fund will definitely invest in and support. I see a great initiative, especially which has an impact on the environment. I won't mention any names before the announcement. I'll leave that to you, Nicola and Cesar. But I must say we're really interested as a strategy ventures to invest in some of these early stage startups to give them the support, but they are really well thought of, well established, and well presented. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for participating in this pitch. Thank you.
Thank you, Mana, for your kind words. So I think we are at the last point of the event, and again, I want to I want to remind to all the startups participating to this pitching competition that again, we are nominating a winner, a second place, and a third place, but everyone here is a winner. So your success is ahead of you. You need to continue your project. Every single project presented today has a great value, and you need to continue with your journey.
So, Nicola, the announcement of the top 3 startups. We're going to start with the 3rd rank. Please, Nicola, everyone is waiting for the announcement. We have more than 300 people watching us right now.
Yes. So the 3rd place goes to a very interesting startup I like very much, which is Match My Skin. So we should have a sort of virtual applause for Match My Skin. Here we go.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. So the 2nd place goes to another very interesting startup, very much aligned with what's happening in the UAE these days, one of the strategic areas of innovation in the UAE. And the 2nd place goes to 3D construction and printing. Another virtual applause.
Congratulations.
And now another virtual roll of drums for the winner, And the winner is a startup that is very dear to me because of the noble cause. And the startup winning the competition is Ifate. And here we go. So again,
congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations to the three winners. Thank you very much to our judges. Maha, Mana, and Tom, really appreciated your participation, your involvement, your very brilliant questions. Again, thank again to Masoud Al-Masoud and Yassim and the entire Emirates Angel Investors Association to be with us today. Again, we are really touched by your participation, and we are really keen to cooperate with the entire association in the future. I think we are transitioning to the second part of the day, that is a matchmaking between our applied research projects and students. So we are trying to transition research performed by our faculty into commercializable technology, services and product within our startups. So again, you judges are more than happy to attend what is happening next. Again, but you're free to go, of course. And again, thank you again for your participation. And I don't know if we are moving directly to the next session. Great. So I'll let you conduct the meeting, Cesar. Again, thank you again, everybody.
Okay. Thank you, Nicola, and congratulations to the startups. Professors, I would like to apologize for the small delay we had, but I'm sure that you enjoyed all the startups and you were with us following what's happening. So we're quite happy that we have up to now still around 300 people following us in this very interesting day, the day 4 of the Incubation Forum at HCT. So at this stage, what we are going to have is different professors coming from different campuses at HCT who have done applied researchers, who are still doing those researches probably. And what we're going to have is now a kind of a presentation, a small brief for the different applied researchers. And what we are going also to offer for the audience is the possibility to work with the professors, with the teachers, on taking this research from where it is today to a startup, to a business where HCT can support within. So what I will be doing throughout the different researchers' presentations, I would be sharing on the chat with everyone a form, a link, where I would like you to put your names, your details on, and throughout the different listenings to the presentations, I would like to ask everyone who is a student and who is listening to us, so this is dedicated to students, please, only students, to fill in this form with their names, details, and so on, and pick their top 3 researchers that they are listening to. So pick your top 1, top 2, and top 3 research that you are listening to, so that we can afterwards work with you as students and with the respective professors of taking this applied research to a business and to grow this moving forward. So without spending too much time on the introduction, I would like to start with Dr. Sayed Masikeli, who is going to provide us today with a presentation about an applied research that is entitled Innovative Integrated Assistive Technologies for Quadriplegics and Special Needs Person in the United Arab Emirates. So I would like to kindly ask the professors to stick to the 5 minutes presentation. Dr. Sayed, the floor is yours. Please let us know if you are able to share the screen, and then we can move forward directly. The mic will be yours. We're not able to hear you. If you can just unmute yourself, please.
Good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Sayed Maskeli. Let me see if I can, yeah, okay. This particular research project actually started somewhere halfway through last year, and there are 4 people involved. myself and 3 other people, 2 of us from Fujairah campuses, and the other 2, one at Al Imam University in Riyadh, and another person from King Fahd Medical Center, also in Riyadh. Really, the gist of our research was to focus on quadriplegics and people with physical constraints or physically restrained people. Quadriplegia, in short, can be caused as a result of spinal cord injury. This injury can happen in different parts of the spine, and it causes the paralysis of different parts of the body, sometimes upper extremities, sometimes lower, or combination of both, and sometimes even total, where the constraint is all the body except the head is moving. So there are varieties of quadriplegia. And what we focus on is we look at their situation and their life and what they go through to really do mundane and ordinary tasks we take for granted. And so we came up with this idea of implementation of concrete assistive tools. How can we do that? We look at emerging IoT devices that are being developed. And we thought we can be somewhere in the middle where we are studying the needs of the quadriplegics. At the same time, we are also researching on emerging technologies in various areas. Some of those things we investigated include hand gesture, eye movement and detection, head movement, and so on and so forth. And of course, there are tons of devices, right from basic home automation, which we believe will help the quadriplegics in terms of mundane tasks they face daily. Okay. And the model we intend to really adopt is simply to work towards establishing a clearinghouse or one-stop shop where actually we would be integrating various emerging new technologies together to actually produce a product out of combinations of them. And we will work and collaborate with other institutions all over the world that are doing similar activities so that the acquisition of the devices, the cost and the quality will really be, quality will be high and the cost will be very low, so that our clients here in UAE will be in a position to afford them. And in short, revenue generation is very important in all startups. And we will adopt quality sourcing, as I mentioned, and mass production is another approach, and low cost, labor cost, because the project is really not labor intensive. It requires low initial investment to take it off the ground. And another strong issue is the issue of subscription-based products. So whatever products we actually produce, the devices we are going to assemble would be given out as on subscription. This way we can establish trust between our clients and our organization we are hoping to establish. Okay. And so again, the assistive technologies, which is the focus, has to be functional and has to be directly relevant to easing and improving the quality of life of the quadriplegics and people with physical constraints. Okay, and the idea, so we decided if this really is approved, there will be a combination of staff that we may have, really very small. Some of them will be IoT experts and embedded system programmers, and probably a representative of the physically challenged people in UAE, or some of them, a couple of them, a legal advisor, because of the sensitivity of the research. It's dealing with human subjects. And also our students HCT stand to benefit by participating in doing their work placement or some internship positions that will be available. And we project within a few years, the project will actually effectively sustain itself within 2 to 5 years. And the initial figures crunched by one of our colleagues estimated maybe initial 2.5 million AED to get it off, to take care of acquisition of office space and initial salary for the people who will be involved. So far, we are at the analysis design level. We are not at development level, but we experimented with few devices. But generally, we came up with the design of at least 2 items. One is actually automation of the quadriplegics environment. As I mentioned, there are a lot of things that we take for granted that they are unable to do. So we already, home automation, which is one area we already designed and we are ready to take off. We have a prototype. And then, of course, the issue of quadriplegics movements in terms of participation in society. The whole goal of the research, and if actually the venture is financed, is actually to be, like I said, one-stop shop where we will be somewhere in the middle between the clients who are the quadriplegics and physically challenged, and on the other, the emerging technologies, relevant technologies that we can select to integrate together to produce viable and functional assistive technologies that would ease the life of this particular population, of a group of population, of our population, so to ease their life and make them productive and empower them to be able to contribute to the society they live in. So I think I'm done with the major presentation of our presentation. And if there is any question, I'll be here to
Dr. Syed, thank you
Yes.
very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Syed, for this presentation and all the details that you shared with us. I would like to give the floor now to Dr. Bashar. Dr. Bashar, who's gonna talk to us today about how to deal with breast cancer using machine learning. Dr. Bashar, the floor is yours. Please, if you can share your screen and activate your microphone.
Okay, can you hear me? And I think screen should be visible
Yes,
now.
we are able to hear you and the screen is very visible.
All right, good, great. Hi, so today I'm going to talk about actually our project, which is an interdisciplinary research grant funded by HCT. I'm working with Dr. Hussein from Al Fujairah Campus Engineering, Dr. Hani Kusa, ICT, Dubai Women's, and Dr. Hiba Muhammad, Health Sciences, Dubai Women's. This project is about early detection of breast cancer from mammographic images. And one thing that you might see here, maybe in the picture, we have an image which is basically an X-ray image of breast tissue. And you can see that the right-hand image is kind of more dense, brighter, and this is actually a sign of cancer. So the good thing about mammographic images and breast screening programs is that they can detect cancer when it's really very small, and the symptoms and the feelings, they're not there yet. So those who have high risk of developing cancer would benefit a lot from such a program. And another good thing is that nowadays we have available data sets, and these contain basically thousands of images that were annotated and labeled by expert clinicians and radiologists. So the goal of our project is to try to learn how the expert classifies these kind of images, what kind of features, what kind of information there in the image that will allow us to automatically do that. Here I show you a deep net model. Deep net is part of machine learning, so we call these deep neural networks. They're very kind of compute intensive processes. And what we see here is an input image on the left side, which is fed into multiple stages, and there's lots of arithmetic operations there, lots of parameters, like 5 million or more, depending on the size. And toward the end, we see a classification stage where we basically are interested in classifying whether this is benign, normal, or malignant image. So this is kind of the research pipeline. It is nothing new. A lot of people are working on this, and our goal in this research is to try to do that single step ahead and try to have maybe a better novel model. So if technology is proven successful, it can lead to commercialization of this product to various stakeholders that can benefit from it. Progress to date, basically we have now working models. I can say that these are kind of baseline models that are able to segment images and classify also cancer. So what we see here is an X-ray image of breast cancer, and there's regions that we are not really interested in, like this pectoral muscle, which is the small red area. Normally cancer is not present here, so this is automatically learned by the algorithm and eliminated so that we don't look there anyway. This will help us avoid false positives in this region. The other thing is also the background, which is the purely black region there. And now you might see it as black, but internally these are kind of numbers that are close to zero but not zero. So another segmentation process where we want to isolate the breast region itself. What we're trying here to do is to feed these kind of segmented images and trying to actually develop a hybrid model where we combine the old-fashioned techniques that rely on expert knowledge. There's certain features that experts have kind of proven as indicative of cancer, and this new deep learning technology, which is kind of an automatic feature engineering step. So maybe if we can try to combine them together, we can get better results. So these segmentations were performed using a model that's called UNet. And we also classified a number of images in the CBIS DDSM dataset. This contains roughly 2,600 images. And kind of now the precision or accuracy is modest now. So it is 60 to 64, but this is well above chance. So that's a good indication. Now this is a long research, and the search space, the parameters is huge. And we actually recently bought a machine to help us do these computations faster. So on my standard desktop machine, I used to take like 23 hours per one round of images on the dataset. And now with GPU, it's kind of maybe roughly a couple of hours. But again, there's lots of work there. In terms of value,
Dr. Bashar, sorry to interrupt you. Just if you can sum up in the next 20 seconds, please.
Yes. So in terms of value, detecting cancer first or early is beneficial and has lots of good value. The business model is around trying to find or establish a spin-off company, but we need a healthcare partner to that. This is a complex project, and we need an expert team for that. Some researchers, PhD students, and also undergrad students, basically HCT students, who can work also in certain aspects on the process. The target customers are screening programs, hospitals, and what we want to offer at the end is a CAD, which is computer-aided detection of breast cancer that can help radiologists achieve their goal. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Thank you, Dr. Bashar, for this very interesting presentation and the research that I believe can solve many issues people are facing, not only in the UAE, but also on a global level. So thank you for sharing with us this insight and these details. Now I would like to ask Dr. Aisha. I'm not sure if Dr. Aisha is with us here. There is an applied research about food security in UAE aquaculture and the needs and in vivo assessment. So Dr. Aisha, if you are with us, the floor is yours. And if you can share your screen, that would be great.
Hello, thank you, Caesar. I am Dr. Erin. I'll actually be representing Dr. Aisha to present our project today. Can you hear me? And you can see my shared screen, right?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see the screen. Please go ahead. And I would like to kindly ask you to limit ourselves to the 4 or 5 minutes session.
Yes, sure. So good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests and students. I would like to thank the organizers for giving us the opportunity to present our work. Our project is entitled the Food Security in UAE Aquaculture. So I'll be presenting on behalf of the Principal Investigator, Dr. Aisha, who could not be here with us. So these are the team who are currently involved in the project. We have, this is a collaborative project. And so we do have students from overseas, a graduate student and also undergraduate students who completed this as part of their capstone project. So let me start by providing you an overview of how two seemingly separate industries in the UAE and how we marry them together in this project. So one is the date industry and the other is the aquaculture industry. Firstly, the date industry, we all know that this is the UAE's main agriculture commodity from the date palm. This industry, as a result of the depitting of the date seeds, or rather removal of the seeds from the fruit that we consume, produces tons of waste each year. All right. And then now moving on to the second industry, this is the aquaculture industry, specifically focused on fish farming. This is a new industry seemingly that started about a decade ago. And this was aimed to supplement the catching of fish from the wild. And as of 2015, the aquaculture industry has contributed only up to 10% of the total catch of fish from sea. And future demands of consumers for fish and the ability to supply is expected to widen significantly. So there is now going to be a gap between the consumer demand and the ability to supply fish, either from the ocean or from farmed fish. And so for this, if you refer to my slide, so we are marrying the two sectors, which would be the agriculture, as in aquafeed, as well as agriculture, which is the use of date seeds. And so then before we began this project, we conducted a needs analysis across fish farmers in the UAE. And so we found that the sourcing of aquafeed is really a challenge within the country because there is yet no production plant for aquafeed. And then there is also the high cost of aquafeed because they are sourced from international countries, other places. And so then the anticipated business model overview would actually only involve a small date seed based aquafeed production facility because we're looking into using the date seeds as a supplement within the fish feed. All right. And so by doing this, we are trying to see if this would enhance the fish health, improve the weight gain, and then to improve the commercialization potential of the fish that are feeding on this feed. And so the second point, date seeds are waste material with no cost. And then right now there is no competition in the UAE locally because there is no aquafeed production facility. So most fish farmers that we've spoken to across the country, they're all currently sourcing fish feed from Saudi Arabia or Vietnam. And in the face of COVID, logistical arrangements and freight has been severely affected. And so sometimes, you know, it is very difficult to get a consistent supply of fish feed. And so then the anticipated value proposition would be to have a date seed based aquafeed production facility in the UAE. But we are not looking so much at developing a plant for this purpose. What we're looking at is to focus on the prototype development for enhanced date seed aquafeed. And so by doing this, we would then be able to patent and to license the formulation. And this is what we're looking at as academia. And then, of course, the consumer market is large because it would not only be limited to the UAE, but this could also be potentially marketed worldwide. So these are some photos of what we did when we went around to the fish farms across the UAE. So we went to Fujairah, to Sharjah, to Dubai, to Al Ain. So to all of these various fish farms and spoke to farmers on the ground. And so there was a real need for this. And so the business model, like I said, we are looking into—
Erin, if I may interrupt you, Erin, if you can please sum up in the next 20 seconds.
Yes, okay. And so the cost for startup is very low because we're only looking at pre-commercialization stage. And then the revenue generated would be from the sale of patented formulation. So not so much to produce the aquafeed itself, but to patent the license. And then for people who want to start a plant to produce, then they can purchase the formulation from us, which is proprietary. And so the global market would be everywhere, not just within the UAE. And then, of course, the team background, it could be our students, our very own students. And finally, we are addressing a market challenge, not just locally, but globally and beyond as well, hopefully to produce competitive pricing. And for this project, we worked with a date farm, which supplied us with the locally grown UAE seed cultivars. So this is the progress that we are at current. So we are moving into pre-commercialization if we can get further funding. So this project was funded by the Interdisciplinary Research Grant as a beginning. So we've concluded phase 1 as well as phase 2. And so our pellet formulation, we have found that it has improved the weight of the fish when we conducted the feeding over a period of 6 weeks in tilapias, which is the most commonly farmed fish in the UAE. So that is it for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Erin, for this. Thank you again. Let us move to the next professor in line, Dr. Mazen, who is going to tell us today more about sustainable HVAC systems in UAE using ground source cooling. In the meantime, I would like to remind all the participants who are listening to us and who are watching and attending these presentations that we are going to share again a link with you over the chat to put your details and to choose your top 3 applied research topics so that we can at a later stage support you with the different professors to move this research from a research to a startup and then to a business together. Okay, so I encourage you to fill in the details, put your top priorities there, and then we can move forward to the next steps. Dr. Mazen, we are seeing your screen. If you can activate your microphone, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Caesar, and welcome everybody to this interesting, exciting event. In these 5 minutes, I will present to you what has been going on through since 2018. So the name of the project is Sustainable HVAC System in UAE using ground source cooling. So the heat, ventilation, and air conditioning systems here in the country are a large industry in the country and a large commercial part of the country buildings here. And what we are trying to do, we are trying to decrease with this intense use of the AC units. We are trying to decrease the global warming through coupling these air conditioning systems to a ground source cooling. Now, if you go below the earth, you know, the temperatures are lower than the surface temperature. So we are trying to utilize that as a form of renewable energy. Now, the target is to save up to 40% of energy demand in the country. Now, the focus of the company, of the startup company, will be to build, become a designer, construction, operation, and maintenance service provider for such kind of technology in the UAE, in aligning with the consultation. And we are trying to fill in the gap, okay, the country is in a challenge to reduce by 20 to 30% in the energy demand. Okay, so the value of this project will be that we are offering to the market, we are offering to the government buildings. We are offering to even the public service, residential buildings and commercial buildings, a module that can save them up to 40% reduced energy demand. And it will start with a positive value right in the beginning of the project. So the commodity is valuable, okay? And it's a good candidate also for international collaboration, since this technology is also internationally focused. Now, the business model of this project was clear. Okay, so tell me, what is the floor area of the building? I tell you that you need to spend $250 more in those annually, and then you're going to save this, the demand in energy. Now the investment return will be 26 to 34% in a form of savings, and with a positive value, and with a return back within 2 to 5 years. So if you are a mechanical engineer, if you are in business, if you are a CIS, computer in information systems, you're welcome to join this project or company. Now, our targeted customers. So basically, since the country here, we are in we are in a large use of these air conditioning systems. So the government buildings, public services, parks, schools, and we can pilot this project in almost all kinds of buildings in the country, even the highway stations where the people stop to take a rest. And with that large audience of customers, the impact by starting this industry in the country is we are trying to implement the strategic plan of this country to move towards a sustainable energy country. And you can see that Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and the national energy efficient standards are moving towards decreasing this energy demand. The progress.
Thank you. This, Dr. Mazen, if we can please wrap up in the next few seconds, please. Thank you.
Okay. So the progress in this project is that we have proven the concept of the project, okay, using lab models, and we have determined what is the potential of the ground source cooling, okay, using a pilot model in the lab. And also we have presented this to the Ministry of Infrastructure and Development, and they are interested in going into partnership with HCT. And we are now in the phase that we are in the phase now of building our pilot model projects, and in a form of a graduating company. So thank you very much for listening to the presentation today, and welcome your questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mazen. Very interesting topic indeed, and it's quite relevant to the region we are in. While asking Dr. Fawzi to prepare the sharing screen, who is going to tell us more today about using AI and soft computing based emotional intelligence for testing emotional literacy of students at HCT and other educational universities, I would like to remind everyone the purpose of this session. So what we are doing today in this part of the session is having great minds from different professors in their applied research topic that they were working on. And the purpose is to find students who are interested in these topics and pushing the research to the next level, so they can work with the different professors and the students together to establish a startup, a company that would solve the challenge and bring the solution to life. And this is where HCT is fully willing to support in this journey, in this entrepreneurial journey, where we are going to match the applied research and the students who are interested in that. So I invite everyone who is listening to us today to go on this link that you are seeing on the chat, put your top priorities, put your details, and then we will help you move to the next step in this journey and to the matchmaking with the different professors. Dr. Fawzi, thank you for bearing with us, and apologies for the delay again. We are very well seeing your screen, and we are able to hear you. The floor is yours.
Yeah, okay, because thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Caesar. It's a pleasure for me to present to you today my applied research project. Well, yesterday at the InnCuVation Forum, I have presented the idea itself, It is entitled Using AI in Soft Computing-Based Emotional Intelligence Frameworks for Testing Emotional Literacy of Students at the Higher Colleges of Technology. Now, today, as part of the HCT Startup Development Program, I shall present to you the startup idea and business concept around emotional intelligence, assessment of AI, and also a framework based and applied on artificial intelligence. And finally, I would present to you a novel idea that I have called it the CV coin, inspired from blockchain. So the research description, it is involving emotional intelligence and computational intelligence. It is mainly applied, it is an applied research funded by the Higher College of Technology, and it's mainly applied in the higher education, but also can also be applied in other areas such as career development and HR. It has big potential as a business idea. It can be used to generate, used in generating as part of this smart CV coin platform that I'm going to talk to you about, that is under development by myself and a scientist from Canada, Sidki Bouslama. This is a new distributed token platform for higher education, academic degrees, and soft skills. Now, anticipated business model overview. In fact, various business partners, including higher education institution, also emotional intelligence and IT professional certification organizations, will form an integral part of this proposed blockchain platform to validate, share services, and issue smart contracts as part of the CV coin, where the soft skills emotional intelligence is a component of it. So this will address a current gap in the CV standardization in education, in HR, and it's expected to greatly enhance existing eCV model. Anticipated value proposition. The startup solution will be a major component, as I said again, in the CV coin system, where we are going to create a CV coin which will be worldwide recognized, will be secured, and will allow institutions from all over the world to validate, to verify across the nodes of the blockchain. There is a huge demand, by the way, a huge need in the sectors of businesses such as higher education, recruitment agencies, career department, and human resources in general. Now, the business case, there is a lot of potential, as I said. It will generate revenues, okay, from licensing, from associated promotion of services. Some potential costs are there, of course, when we do conduct the emotional intelligence assessment itself and the update of the tool. Also, there will be some algorithm and programming, development involved, especially when we involve the transaction validation. The kind of transaction dealing with here could be a business to business or a business to consumer directly, or could be also between businesses and government when we are validating the credits, the certification itself. Okay. Now, the targeted customers could be, of course, mainly fresh graduates from higher education institution, could be young professionals, or also employees in organizations who are seeking upskilling. They can be anywhere in the UAE or around the world, and the customer base can certainly be expanded in the future to include managers and leaders in businesses. The service offered, the customer include, of course,
Dr. Fawzi, sorry to interrupt you. I just would like to inform you if we are a bit behind schedule, so if we can close in the next 1 minute, please.
Okay, and in summary, so this is the main idea. The progress has been there. It's been a research for over 5 years now, funded by the various HCT grants. We have developed the AI assessment tools. It's bilingual, it's localized. I have created the AI-based framework based on a fuzzy logic, classification, framework. It has been tested on students, both in the foundation, in the bachelor at Dubai Men's Campus and also at Dubai Women's Campus. Now, we discussed the needs to integrate AI skills and other professional certification in the student skill set. And we also discussed, related issues related to panoply of assessment tools and the need for standardization, as we have many assessment tools on the market, but people are a little bit confused. And the main, contribution in this startup idea is to use a blockchain model to create, this is what I call the CV coin ledger, where a student, for example, can have his degrees and certificates and every achievement being, validated directly by the institution. So here we're linking every institution in the world, could be in America, in Europe, in Asia, and they will be the one validating. They have to form the blockchain. There'll be the node in the blockchain itself, and we decentralize with this way. We provide a secured, a CV coin model. Thank you for listening, and I hope you liked the idea. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Fawzi, for sharing with us the results of the applied research. And I'm pretty sure that some students might be interested. So we are receiving quite few responses, by the way, on interested students and specific applied researches. I encourage all the participants who are listening to us to give their feedback. What are your top preferred applied researches, to share them with us so that you can work on those in more details with the different professors. Now I would like to kindly ask Dr. Dawood, who is going to share with us today Lexar, which is building a unified and collaborative platform for Arabic technical terms. Quite an interesting topic. Dr. Dawood, the floor is yours. If you can please share your screen and activate your microphone.
Okay. Okay, thank you for, okay, this I want to,
Yeah, Dr. Dawood, I think you are still on mute. So if you can just unmute yourself.
sorry. Thank you, Cesar, for this opportunity. Today, I will go through our project, which is called Lexar. It's about building a unified and collaborative platform for Arabic technical terms. Myself and Dr. Muhammad Saleh, Dr. Salim Tnaiji, and Dr. Akram Cruz are working in this project. Besides some undergraduate students through their capstone projects. And actually the project aims at, sorry. I don't know if I'm facing a problem with, okay. The project aims at, it's an NLP project, okay, with a specialty in lexical resources and computational linguistics. Okay, the project aims at removing language barriers and to enable the transfer of knowledge from high resources languages, our rich resources languages into Arabic. Okay, we know that Arabic is lack free available resources, and we know that the main obstacle for transferring knowledge is the technical terms. Okay, the technical terms, such as, for example, what the Arabic equivalent of object-oriented, for example, object-oriented programming or cloud computing. Okay, you will find many technical terms for the same original term. Okay, I mean many Arabic equivalent to the same term. So we want to unify that. We want to make it a collaborative work between different people, like terminologists, domain experts, volunteers, translators, from the entire Arabic world. Okay, so we want Lixar focuses on building a centralized web-based information system used together and disseminate multilingual terminological data containing Arabic terms. This system should provide the following functionalities. Okay, creation and edition of a term entry, advanced search for a particular dictionary entries, inclusions of some semantic attributes, and reference to specialized ontologies of the tackled domain, and of course, exchange facility or integration facilities with other systems. So this is the main outcome of this project, a unified platform that will enable different people, because leaving the creation of term for a linguist only is not the right thing to do. Okay, domain experts, volunteers, and everybody should participate in this creation, and we are aiming at coordinate this process. Okay.
Dr. Dawood, sorry to interrupt, Dr. Dawood, but I would like to kindly ask you if you can wrap up in the next half a minute, please.
Yeah, the potential beneficiaries are translators in both public and private sectors, readers of scientific and technical text, academic institutions, government institutions, content producers, okay, etc. So all these are potential customers, and we are thinking of making this project similar to W3C business model. Commercial services could naturally be developed around Lixar. They would not let user pay for the content, but for the additional services such as publishing in special formats, adding terms for new domains, then freely accessible and usable by all, training, adding new languages, linking to MT system, etc. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and I'm ready for any question. Thank you, Cesar.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dawood. I believe there is a big need in the translation of AI and machine learning into Arabic today, and this is a global issue that everyone is facing. So I'm pretty sure that this might add value to the market. So thank you for sharing this. Let us move to Dr. Elaine. Dr. Elaine is going to share with us today an applied research outcome, which is the iReader online reading tracking tool in Arabic. Dr. Elaine, if you can please share your screen and activate your microphone. Okay. And in the meantime, what I would like also to ask the professors to say to the audience is maybe leaving a small message at the end of the presentation, answering the why a student should work with you on making this as a business and as a startup, and a small brief message to the audience. We have more than 250 people listening to us now. Thank you. Dr. Elaine, the floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for showcasing our research in this forum. I'm Dr. Helen Demirci, and on behalf of the research team from Abu Dhabi Men's College, I'm going to be talking to you about our research and its potential to be viewed as a business startup. The research has been funded by an HCT interdisciplinary project or grant, much like the others. And the research team consists of myself, Dr. Tanya as a principal investigator, and Dr. Rudena Hujair from the business department. Sorry, let me move on. I cannot control my my present. Oh, here we go. So the research is entitled the iReader Arabic Online Reading Tracking Tool. And the aim of the research was, because we have actually done it, to develop a free online reading tracking tool to motivate students to engage in extensive reading in Arabic to fill in the reading gap. A lot of our research that we've done before was based on reading in English. But after this research was completed, we noticed that there was a big gap in reading in Arabic. And by gap, I mean when students are entering higher education, the male students that we research, they're not equipped to deal with the needs of the reading in a higher education context. So basically the reading fluency and the reading level is much lower than is required in a university, let's say. So this study applies to private and public educational institutions from K-12 to higher education as well. And the idea extends from the free English M-Reader site that is hosted by the Extensive Reading Foundation in Japan, who happen to be our industry partners because they've supported us in developing, as well as the HCT grants, the Extensive Reading Foundation in Japan have helped us develop the site in Arabic. And this project, we believe, can be developed into a startup in the future, especially considering there is an existing model in English. Let's say there's an English version already in use in HCT amongst our English communication students, but we would like to, transfer our model, our free model, into the business model or startup so that it could, generate funds. So the anticipated business model overview is that it will engage learners in reading in Arabic, a wider range of learners, with an enhanced model that will improve linguistic skills and cognition, and also provide teachers with a wealth of data on the students' reading preferences and their reading abilities. This is something that teachers don't have the time to do these days, let alone allow students read in class. But our program provides all that data, both models, the free model and the business model, if we want to call it that. So with the absence of such a reading tracking tool in Arabic, the current gap in the market will be addressed. Like I said, there's a huge gap. And the anticipated value proposition is that the tool will develop healthy reading practices that will contribute to building a knowledge society ready for innovative thinking and practices. If students don't have a highly developed reading fluency, they will not be able to engage or operate the skills that are required for the, the innovative needs of the future. So therefore, we believe that students will become flexible thinkers and researchers, enabling creativity along with analytical and visionary thinking, which is a requirement for the future. So the business case, the potential business model, the tool will be accessible digitally through government educational institutions and also to private schools within, the Arabic speaking world, or within schools that are institutions globally that are teaching Arabic as a second language. The costs are related to the software development, the management of the site and marketing. The extended version of the free model that the research project has developed and is operational will include online books. The free model doesn't include that. So when we include the online books in the site, royalties will be paid to the publishers that have included their books in the site. So the targeted customers will be private and public sector K-12 schools and higher education institutions in the whole of the Arabic speaking world.
Dr. Helen, if I may interrupt you.
Sure.
If I may interrupt you, I would like to ask you to wrap up in the next half a minute, please.
Okay, sure. You can see the slides there. I will move straight on to our progress. So as I think I've already said, we've developed the prototype of the proposed startup that was funded by HCT. We had 4 research assistants, many student volunteers, and our industry partners. We are going to pilot our free model in the local community, and the data is showing that students are highly motivated to use both. There's a picture at the top there of our free model, and we do have a website as well, and that's the paid model, the business model in English. And our preliminary discussions with our industry partner and publishers have begun. Thank you for including our project, and we're looking forward to welcoming students to participate because it's an ongoing project that's been developed and growing. The site is growing weekly, let's say. Thank you so much. And yes, if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer them.
Thank you, Dr. Helen, for the presentation. Much appreciated. I would like to remind everyone that we have a link that is being circulated over the chat for you as students to shortlist your top 3 applied researches that you are interested in and that you would like to explore further with the different professors to make a real business out of it. And this is how HCT can help you with all the resources that are put in place. Dr. Asif should be next, but I would like just to put a question to you, Dr. Asif. I received a small request from Dr. Ustav saying that he has a class he needs to join at 2 o'clock. Would you be okay if he can move just now, right now, and present quickly before moving to the class?
The thing is, I've got a class at 2 o'clock as well.
Okay, so in this case, we'll go with you, Dr. Asif. I'm sorry for the delay that happened, but if we can be quick so that we can cater for everyone.
Sure.
The floor is yours. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Right, mining opinion and sentiment from Arabic text Mosa. So this is a project at big data level. There's voluminous amounts of posts in Arabic that can be found on social media and on various product service review sites. And this provides a rich source of information at a number of levels that can be useful both commercially and at government level. There are reviews on various products and services from users, and this provides valuable information and feedback to the companies concerned. So the information allows commercial organizations to hone their products and services, and it also allows them to demographically identify their customer base. And likewise, at a government level, services provided to the public and the general mood of the population towards various policies can be gauged by analyzing comments on social media. Now, analyzing media in English, which uses sentiment lexicons, this is well established. Posts written in Arabic, now this is totally different. It's a challenging task. Main reason for this is that Arabic is morphologically a rich language. There have been a number of efforts to build Arabic sentiment lexicons. However, they suffer from being of a limited size, unclear usability plans, primarily because of Arabic's rich morphology, and they're not even publicly available. This project aims to develop tools that will opinion mine media written in Gulf Arabic, Modern Standard Arabic, and Arabici, or even a mixture of these dialects. Now, specifically, the language analysis will be geared towards the UAE and in general towards the Gulf Arabic dialect. The project will be split up into a number of work packages, and each work package will be domain dependent. The domains will be derived from commercial and social sectors. So in addition to mining opinion, the project will aim to demographically profile the opinions. The project will develop AI algorithms that are domain specific. And in addition to this, we'll be using big data technology, which will be coupled with AI algorithms, and that will give ready-made solutions for UAE companies and government departments. The results of the analysis will be offered to the UAE commercial and government bodies. And this will be unique in the Arab world because using big data AI technology is not readily available, and specifically not for the Arabic language. Such technology is abundant because it's being fully used for English and other European languages. The research methodology has been broken up into a number of work packages. So domain-specific reviews and social media content will be collected in Emirati Arabic, Modern Standard Arabic, and Gulf Arabic for the lifetime of the project. And for every post that is downloaded, the metadata will also be collected, and it will be used to define the demographic of that sentiment. Now, big data technology will be used to store and pre-process the data, and specifically, the posts will be downloaded in JSON format, and Hadoop will be used for storage. Hive will be used to pre-process the data. The main advantages of Hive is its ability to take in JSON files without any pre-processing. And posts that have been collected for a domain will be cleaned to ensure that any unsavory content is removed. And in the case of swear words, they'll be replaced by a number to indicate the strength of the emotion. The posts will be then set into web pages, and for each post, there'll be a 10-point Likert scale. And in a systematic manner, these web pages will be given to volunteers and to paid student helpers to select the polarity of the posts. And this information will then be recorded to a database, and then the next stage will be to do the AI work. A comparative study will be done using various neural networks, and from this, it's hoped that we can establish the progress of each work package. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Asif, for sharing with us the results of this applied research. And I believe this is still an ongoing thing that will grow with time and that will keep on improving further. So I always I keep inviting the students who are listening to us today to select their top applied researchers to explore further with the professors. Dr. Asif, thank you again for your time. Next in line, we have Dr. Khalil. Dr. Khalil, I would ask you again the same question. If you are okay for Dr. Utsaf to go first, as he has a class, or are you also bound by a class?
No problem. Please give him the chance. No issue.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Dr. Utsaf, I do apologize again for everyone for the delay that happened earlier in the morning. So Dr. Utsaf is going to take us onto the multi-rotor methane sensor for natural gas detection. We are able to see your screen, Doctor. If you can activate your microphone, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Caesar, and thank you, Dr. Khalil, for letting me have the turn. Thank you very much. So first, I'd like to acknowledge my team here, Mohammed Muflahi, Mohammed Ismail, and Rafat Al-Nuti, and myself. We worked collectively on this. This is still a work in progress. So there is plenty of opportunities for students to come and learn significantly and make a very big impact. So in this project, our goal is to develop a product. This is called Flying Methane Sensor. So there are several areas inside the project which you can choose depending on your interest and your aspirations. There are primarily two products involved here. First is to develop a quadcopter with the goal to combine it with a laser-based instrument, which will actually make the methane measurements. Okay, so for example, you can see from the schematic here, the quadcopter has two levels. There are two decks. On the lower level, we will put the more bulky components, such as the batteries and the oscilloscopes, for example. And in the upper deck, we will put the optical components, which will be involved in the path of the laser beam propagation. Okay. Now, we are interested in measuring methane because of two reasons. Number one is that methane is a primary component of natural gas. So if you detect methane, you are detecting natural gas. So this instrument could be a tool to discover new sources of methane. Since this is a quadcopter which can be remotely piloted or even operated without any pilot, so it can be guided by an autopilot, you can imagine that it can be flown in very remote locations under harsh conditions which may not be suitable for a human operator. Okay, so the advantage is that you can take it to places where a human being may not want to go, and there you can look for new sources of natural gas. Okay, And there is another possible application, which is now for the environmentalists. From the environmental agency point of view, also this could be very important because, as you might know, methane is only second to carbon dioxide when it comes to global warming. So methane can significantly increase the amount of heat that is trapped inside the Earth, under the atmosphere. So it is also important to know how much methane is present in the atmosphere and to track its levels. And it is not just the fossil fuels which are potentially releasing methane into the atmosphere. It could be released by the meltdown of permafrosts. It could be released by livestock from the swamps. Okay, so there are several sources of methane. Methane has its own methane cycle, just like you may have heard about the water cycle. So it's important to also quantify the amount of methane in the atmosphere. So in that sense, the customers could be the environmental agencies who care too much about the environment and about global warming. The customers from the natural gas acquisition point of view could be the oil and gas companies, the governments who have their stake in these oil and gas companies. Okay. And the idea is not to be a manufacturer of this product. The idea is to manufacture this product and then to provide our services. So we will be service providers. The companies can hire us, okay, in contract, and then we can be employed by those companies to discover new sources of methane or to track the amount of methane present in certain regions in the atmosphere where, again, as I said, a human being may not be able to reach. Okay, so this, as you can imagine, has a very big market overview because the demand for energy is going to continue to increase. And at the same time, we will also be very concerned with the environment as the global warming is accelerating. So in terms of the progress so far, as I said, this is still a work in progress. We have purchased the components, okay, and we are in the process of assembling the drone, which has been designed. And we have also purchased the components for the laser sensor, and we are in the process of assembling it. But again, this is far from completion. So anybody who wants to join will be able to learn a lot in the topics of optical spectroscopy, which is basically a part of physics. You can learn about aeronautical engineering or robotics, or you can also learn about data science, because the methane signal that we will acquire will need a lot of analytics, and we will also need to improve the data analysis method so that we can interpret even the data which is at a low signal to noise ratio. Okay, so in this way, I hope this project or this product can really inspire the students to be more involved in science and technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor, for the very interesting insight and the very interesting topic in this presentation. I would like to move to Dr. Khalil. Dr. Khalil today is going to share with us an applied research about energy efficient resource management for 5G networks. So Dr. Khalil, the floor is yours.
Okay, let me see. Can you share my slides?
Yes, we can see the slides and we are able to hear you well.
Okay, let me see how can I see my slides. Okay.
All is good?
I cannot see my slide, just checking my setting. Just 1 minute, please.
So maybe if you can stop sharing and reshare again.
Yes, that will be a good idea.
Okay, so in the meantime, I would like to ask the remaining participants with us today to go on the chat and see the link that you see in front of you. Go there, pick your top 3 applied researches, In few minutes after the presentation of Dr. Khalil, we're going to announce the top 3 researchers that got the best traction. And we invite you all to be part of this entrepreneurial journey with the different professors. Dr. Khalil, we hope that you are able to see your screen.
Okay, please. Now my screen is shared. You can see my screen.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining and thank you for listening and inviting me to this very important forum. Our project is basically based upon, again, the artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is the area which is basically you can see everywhere. Like we have seen Dr. Bashar and some other our group members, they have made their ideas about machine learning in health sector. And we can see that this machine learning is a very vast area and this is a very in area. So any student basically investing his time in this area will get benefit. So our idea about here is, this is basically artificial intelligence-based energy efficient resource management for 5G wireless communication. This is for basically our this mobile and wireless communication. This idea is at high end. Basically, we are working about some patent to register some patent from this our research. At lower end, this will be basically byproduct for our project, and this can be help in many areas. Like if you see. This project may result in startup companies which can provide solution to business like mask on detection by the government. And similarly, if you can see that it can have application specifically in this covered environment. If you go for this one attendance tracking even, we have one project CDP, basically our students are already working on that. And we are inshallah going to go with that with some startup company. So it will automatically go there and see the presence of the student and mark the attendance at the high end. So this machine learning, because our students are here, so in order to give them some basic idea, the machine learning concept is basically about training phase and deployment phase. In training phase, basically you give some input from your real-time video stream, and also you give them some labels, which is already the input and output relationship. We train our machine or algorithm with that input and this one, then this will do automatically everything. So when you are deploying this, based upon that learning phase, which we have already trained our machine, it will just give you the services, which can be any services like starting from your this detecting the mask, even detecting the image, also in space, anywhere. This has many applications. For our students, maybe the best part will be to just start some small companies because it doesn't need many resources. For our case, like we have for this, if we go to the high end for this project, basically at the high end telecom industry vendors like Ericsson, Nokia, Huawei may be interested in optimization of resource management by using our this research outcome. At lower end, what we can do, we can offer a complete solution with software embedded in the hardware. And this is really key for our students and our startup companies. And it doesn't need much resources, like we will see here. So one of the, at high end, we can have a revenue from the patent, but most of the cost is already covered in there. But if we go for the low end, many of the shelf components are already in the market. Like starting from $100 to $500, we can buy some component and we can embed our algorithm in that, and we can start our company. We can give services to universities, to colleges, to schools, to anyone. So target customer, like at high end, we have telecom equipment vendors like Ericsson, Nokia, Huawei. They are the basically global vendors. Like for at local level and lower end, we have mask on detection for government, universities. Customer base can be expanded because this AI field, you can see that application of this machine learning in every walk of life. So anywhere it has future, this is the future. So services offered may be algorithm software based, starting from only, you can even start a company with just like software houses, they are supplying just, but our main edge with other companies in the market will be, we will embed our solution, our software into the hardware, and which is basically off the shelf, fortunately available. So we can use this idea and we can go for many companies or as much we can do with very lower investment. Services can be tailored to customized needs just by small changes in the software, basically. So main skills needed, maybe most of the students in HCT in electrical, mechanical, and they are in chemical even, they have this programming skill like Python. They used to study in ICT, MATLAB, C language, image processing, mathematical skills, embedding software to hardware. This we can also hire somebody. Team management, leadership, of course, some business people. So idea will be some combining some business and engineering students together and start some company. This is a relatively new area, but people with relevant skills can be found locally, and also in our students. We are already involved in our research as a research assistant, and they are already doing. So many researchers are working, but need to develop most efficient solution. There is a huge current market value. And also for the startups, cost is low, GPU-based machine learning workstation. We already have here in Al Dhafra region, we basically buy it by our 2 projects, which are basically focusing on machine learning. So our students can also get benefit from there. Some win-win situation can be there. And also the GPU-based small system chips are also off the shelf, and they are very easy to found and very cheaper. So we have already this system in our, and we are also going for the second system also here with our second project. So HCT, basically this is part of our HCT funded project, and also our CDP students already involved there. They are having 2 projects. One is AI-based adaptive signaling for traffic control and roundabouts, and AI-based face detection and recognition using deep neural networks. So I believe the students, this is the area of the future, and student must think about that. Thank you so much for your listening.
Dr. Khalil, thank you very much. I would like to thank you, thank all the professors who were with us today. I would like also to thank all the participants who were with us today. We had more than 300 participants following us over the day. Thank you very much for making this a very interesting and fruitful conversation for a matchmaking, applied research, and startups. And I would like now to give the floor to Nicola to close the day.
Yeah, thank you, Cesar. Very exciting day. We had quite an exciting lineup of startups this morning, presenting to the angel investors. Interesting applied research presentations, potentially translating into businesses. In the last session, we had quite a good response from students, interested in getting in contact with the faculty and work together to launch a startup. This is something that we really encourage. So applied research is not just for the sake of researching or publishing or even protecting the IP with a patent. For us, the really imperative is to translate this technology, this innovation into businesses, into companies. So again, it's a great pleasure to close this event, these 4 days of innovation, applied research, and entrepreneurship. It was very exciting to see all the panel members, the keynote speakers, the elevator pitches of the startups on day 1 and 3. 1, 2, and 3. The applied research projects presented in the first 3 days. The pitch competition today, and the applied research startup matchmaking that just happened. Again, it was an exciting 4-day event. We are really looking forward to continue the conversation with all those who were involved. And again, as I mentioned, we want HCT to become the UAE champion in terms of innovation, applied research, and entrepreneurship. So thank you again, everybody, and see you next year.